You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime!
Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Iron face, a mask of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Deep gash, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still crawling.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame hoe, never been a lame hoe. Yeah, I love strip. I'm okay.
You serious? You serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Just some push it from me right now.
For the interview?
Yes? Let those drifting hands go. Get out of here, Bert. Go home.
What next?
You want the famous for the food. You're not even honest. You want the famous for the food.
BoxingVoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Another edition of the Boxing Voice. We're definitely going to talk some boxing. I want to give a quick shout out. I forgot the gentleman's name. That sucks, right? But he should know who it is because the beginning of his email is, "Hey, Ness, thanks for reading my review on Thursday's show." This was the gentleman who had an issue with us not replying to his email. And he did. And the reason for bringing this up, it makes total sense because he likes to consider himself something of a casual fan, kind of turning hardcore. So I'm going to just go on to read his points because it fits into this Danny Garcia Rod Salka, which the question that I want to pose to all you guys today is, outside of the fact that for us hardcore fans, this was an awful fight. This card was awful. But the question is, did Showtime do what they set out to do? Did they build these fighters, these A-side fighters? Did they build them in the eyes of the casual fans like this gentleman who's writing us, about this specific card? All right, so I'm gonna tell you what he said here because again it ties into the Garcia. So he says, whether hardcore fans accept it or not, I think the sport of boxing is after my dollar as a casual fan for more than yours, the hardcore fan. This Showtime card of Danny Garcia versus Rod Salka is meant for me. By me, I mean the casual fan. I think from Showtime's perspective, what better way to reel in some more subscribers than entertain us casual fans with some possible flash knockouts and get people talking. Speaking for myself, I need this show to educate me more about boxing. You guys are like my favorite teacher. Look, if the teacher isn't good, you wouldn't want to learn anything, right? From that teacher, right or wrong. I since listened to your show and I have turned about 3 or 4 of my coworkers to listening to your show. What has Ringside Robbie done to bring more listeners to your show? Education is the key. That's why I request more spontaneous shows, like example, educate me on this. Canelo versus Laura card. What can I do as a casual fan, be it hardcore or casual, to complain or get together and call out these stupid-ass judges like the idiot that scored the fight 117-111 for Canelo? Something has to be done for me. It's not the boxers. Yes, styles make fights boring or exciting, but only capable judges make a fight fair, and assholes like the judge I mentioned don't need a job being a judge. Well, that's my rant. Thank you, Nestor Beeb, Vic, and the rest of the guys for the show. Electric, entertaining, educational. Peace. Carlos. So let's answer him, guys. I mean, everyone that listens to the show is entitled to, their opinion, and let him hear it when he listens to the next episode. Well, this episode, rather. Because I want to know, I want to ask you the same question. Did Showtime do what they set out to do? Did they entertain you? Like, I'm going to keep this caller's, friend's name completely anonymous, but a person called me right before the show who I considered a hardcore, and he was impressed with Garcia, knowing full and well the level of opposition of a Rod Salka and the fact that he's not on Garcia's level and he's not even Garcia's natural weight. But he was still impressed. Is this not needed, or is it not okay for a guy like Danny Garcia to get a fight versus Rod Salka after having such a grueling schedule? I mean, as a prospect, let's just pull it up, a matter of fact, right? Why not? Let's give out facts and educate using BoxRec, right? So what we'll do is we'll go there and we'll see just how many tough fights he had in a row. So starting from Nate Campbell in 2011, April 9th, he fought Nate Campbell, then Kendall Holt, Eric Morales, Amir Khan, Eric Morales again, Zab Judah, Lucas Matisse, Mauricio Herrera, and he had Rod Salka, people. I want someone to call in and give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notable names, no matter what time of the career Nate Campbell was in as a prospect, that Danny was when he fought Nate Campbell. That is a solid gradual step in the right direction win. Kendall Holt also, because that's a guy that Bradley had faced. So Bradley was the king at 140. Okay? So Danny was now fighting Kendall Holt. Then Eric Morales. That's a legend. Say whatever you want about his time. It's the same exact thing that Canelo did with Mosley. And we can find numerous other fighters that had an older guy on their resume. No one can tell me that they were picking Danny to beat Eric Morales this first fight, because we had this show when this fight was out, and I don't remember that shit. Okay? And I picked him on that fight. And then Amir Khan, I picked him again, and I called the left hook. And that was a solid win. And then some light shined in, and a star was emerging. And then he had the rematch with Eric Morales when he spinned him like a top live at the Barclays Center. And you can see some talent. And he moving forward. People were not happy with Zab, but Zab is still a dude that was always rugged. In my opinion, never beat the B-plus fighter, but he could give you some answers. He gave us some answers about Lucas, didn't he? He gave us some answers about Vivian Harris, didn't he? He can give you some answers, okay? And then what everybody thought Danny was going to lose, Lucas Matisse, he destroyed him. He did that to his eye. Don't call in here and belittle his win and say, oh, if his eye wouldn't have got like that, it would have been a different story. But it's not a different story. He did that to him. And Mauricio Herrera, I cannot defend. I had him winning. Many others had him winning. So attack me if you like. Attack me if you like. But there's others. I'm not alone. Don't make it as if I'm the only one on the planet that's seen Danny winning outside of the judges. And then you got Rod Salka. You got Rod Salka. This is the slow him down fight. He's been on a hell of a ride. Let's slow him down. Let's pull him back. And let's take it one day at a time all over again. Okay? So, I want to give a shout out to Denise as well. She's on the check-in from the 860. What else we got to do? Of course, Audible. Oh, man, I want to talk about the website, guys, man. Definitely go and check out the website. We've revamped it. It's very functional. As you can see, we've taken on many writers, so we're pumping out news every single day. You know, I'm putting all my interviews out there, even phone interviews. So you see that I'm working hard to get you guys, you know, the latest things that we can in terms of the news. So definitely keep your eye on the website and download that Boxing Voice app so you can take us on the go, both on iPhone and Android. 646-478-3068. That is the number. Remember, did Showtime do what they set out to do? Let's go to someone we haven't heard from in a while and get his take.
It's a maniac. It's a maniac. The maniac is running wild like he's never ran before.
Yep. It's the maniac. What's going on, Ness?
Chilling, Baba.
Yeah, I didn't get to see you yesterday. I got there a little late, but I know you was working, and I know it would have been kind of difficult to link up. So, you know, definitely for the next one. But yeah, let's dive right into it. You know, yesterday, you know, like I told people, you know, there's no way to justify this fight. I mean, I'm 100% sure they could have got somebody at 140, you know, that Danny could have fought. But, I mean, it is what it is, you know. And like I said, I'm not going to praise him for the win. I'm not going to act like he did this to an elite fighter. He did. It was a lose-lose for Danny, let's be clear. If he would have struggled against Salka, oh, he struggled against Bum. He knocked him out, oh, he knocked out a Bum. So it's better to knock him out than struggle, I say. So, you know, he did what he had to do. And kind of, you know, going off what you were saying before you got to me, when you was kind of, you know, saying when he was going through the gauntlet. Like I said, all right, if you want to kill Danny for this fight, the doors are wide open. Go ahead, kill him. But let's be clear here. This dude has ducked nobody. He has fought everyone. Everyone wanted him to fight. And he won definitively. Once again, I made it clear here. I felt he lost to Herrera. All right? I mean, it's not like Herrera whooped his ass neither. I mean, it was a close fight. I felt it was a close fight, but I still felt he lost. Now, people, I've seen a lot of negativity towards Danny. And it's like, why? Listen, all right, once again, I know I just repeated it, but why kill Danny when he's one of the very few fighters in any weight division that has been fighting the tough fighters out there? Yes, Mauricio Herrera, people could say, he's a C-plus fighter, but that's one of the fucking best C-plus fighters in fucking boxing. Let's be real. Who really wants to fight on Mauricio Herrera? He's a tough style matchup for anybody. And you saw in his last fight, he won definitively. So it's not like the dude had a lucky night against Danny. This guy is for real. Herrera's tough. He's just not an elite fighter. Now, obviously, from here on out, I believe, you know, Al Heyman, Golden Boy, knows that, all right, Danny, this was your, you know, get back, get your feet wet again fight. You're going to go through the gauntlet again. Because there's just too many fights out there for him that Golden Boy has for Danny, you know, and he cannot fight another fucking Pepe fighter. It just can't happen. He unified the belts with Lamont at 140. Yes, we know this fight was at 142, giving us the indication that him making 140 isn't really, you know, it's just getting tough for him. So, I mean, either way you want to do it, man, he has to fight somebody tough. You know, I don't want to see, you know, another fighter being brought up. He needs to be back to Danny. The Danny we know, he's the champ at 140. He's not an interim champion. He doesn't have the Mickey Mouse interim belt, you know, because there's like 50 belts nowadays for fucking every sanctioning body. He is the lineal champ at 140. He needs to fight some tough fights. That's it. I already killed him for this fight. That's cool. But hopefully his next fight, we will get to see him with somebody that we say, okay, this could be a hell of a fight. And I say Lamont Peterson, because he's not going to go fight. You know, I've seen a couple of people talking about Keith Thurman, why he don't fight. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Let's be real here. This dude, guys, the natural 147s don't want to fight Keith Thurman. You don't fucking throw Keith Thurman, Danny with Keith Thurman. I mean, Al Heyman wouldn't even do that, period. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Danny is Danny, man. Love him or hate him. He's a fucking heck of a fighter, man. He's tough. He's rugged. He goes in there. He try to do, you know, he do what he does, man. And going forward, he has to fight the fucking tough fighters now, man. That's it. The Salka's over. I know, Ness, you fucking was doing you was dancing salsa after that knockout. I know you was excited. I mean, I was there live. That shit was crazy. I'm sorry. Everybody jumped up at the same time. But you know, I mean, he did, like I said, man, he did what he had to do. Now, hopefully we get a Peterson-Danny unification, or Danny fights a tough welter. What you say?
Well, I was there live, like you said, and I didn't really get an indication. I don't feel confident about the Peterson fight from the camps. When speaking to Peterson about it, you know, he was like, yeah, I want the fight, but, you know, I've had negotiations fail on the table. You know, it's got to be right for both camps. And then you got Danny saying, well, I fight whoever Golden Boy and Al Heyman want me to fight. And then from the casual fan, which I'm trying to focus on that, like, did they do their job? I think, yeah, that is the next fight. I mean, Showtime was certainly building it up. When I came home and watched the fight on TV, they were certainly making us fully aware that one day down the line, we're going to get a card with Peterson Garcia, Daniel Jacobs, Peter Quillen, and whoever the hell was the other guy. Who was on the undercard? Oh,
it was Danny Jacob. Two of the fighters will be against each other,
okay,
which is Peterson and Danny.
Well, that's the indication that I got. Did you get the feeling? Have you went back and watched this since you came home?
Not yet. To be honest, man, as we speak, I'm watching the NBC Sports card. You know, this dude Joseph Parker just knocked out Keith Thompson in the opening fight. So I got a bunch of fights. You know, I was in Mexico. I got fucking Solo Boxeo, Telemundo. My DVR just flooded with boxing that I need to watch. I just finished watching the HBO card from last week this morning. Wow. So I'll watch it. I'll watch it tonight. You know, after this NBC card. I'll skip the extreme fights. You know, that's not priority. I definitely want to see the live card that went on yesterday to see what they were saying.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get to some other callers.
Real quick, before you get to the other callers. What? So when you ask in the post fight, when you asked Danny or Angel, you said, you know, what do you want next? So that was their answer. Whoever Al Heyman and Golden Boy picked, that's who we fight.
Well, for his father, it was a little bit different. It really seems that he wants to go in the direction of 147, but they're leaving it open if something, you know, is going to happen at that weight division. Clearly, they're going to take it if it's some money involved.
All right, man. I mean, I'll be clear, man. Danny, to me, he's a welterweight, man. That dude is big. I mean, you've seen him up close. I mean, he's a big boy, man, and I know he'll have no problem making 147. And I give him a solid shot against a lot of fighters at 147. I mean, a lot of people won't, just for the sheer hate for Danny, but he you know, he has the ability, the skills, the power. I feel to carry the 147, and I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, Sean, man. Thanks for calling in, brother. Let me get here to 678. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Did Showtime convince you of these A-side fighters, my friend?
Let me see. Daniel Jacobs? I don't know. I don't know about that, dude. Danny, let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of Danny Garcia, and I have casual friends. They know who Danny Garcia is. They know the Adrian Broners, Lucas Matisse, and ever since they've always doubted Danny Garcia. All my friends doubt Danny Garcia. They've wanted him to lose against Amir Khan. They wanted him to get his ass beat against Eric Morales. And I've always betted against them, and they've always proved them wrong. And then all of a sudden they're on the bandwagon of Danny Garcia. But when the Raw Salka fight got announced, they were saying, "Oh, they should give Mauricio O'Hara a rematch, man. That's some bullshit. What the hell are they doing? He's not true champ." And it kind of pissed me off because I had a Danny Garcia win that fight. I don't care what people say. If I'm a fanboy, I still had Danny Garcia win that fight. And I don't know, Danny Garcia, he's gonna prove people wrong in the future, man. He's a true champ. He's gonna remember the sport. I don't care what people say. He's gonna prove all the people that doubt him, all the haters are eventually gonna get on the bandwagon when he proves everybody wrong. He's gonna shut everybody up. I mean, if he goes against Lamar Peterson, I give that guy no chance. Danny Garcia will probably win every round. I'm not a Lamar hater. I mean, I actually like Lamar. I mean, this fight was alright. He dominated Edgar Santana really bad. And Adrian Broner, I think he would destroy Adrian Broner too. Well, I don't know. That'll be a good fight though.
I don't want Danny to go. He has to fight Broner because Peterson, they're not fighting Broner. They are absolutely not fighting Broner. So Danny needs to stick around and make a super fight with fucking Broner.
Exactly.
That's what needs to happen.
Exactly. Man. That's exactly what I want to have. That's what I was saying. As soon as he knocked him out, I was like, I want Adrian Broner. I want Danny Garcia just to shut up Adrian Broner. I mean, I like Adrian Broner. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like him. But just, come on, man. I want Adrian Broner and Danny Garcia so bad. Like, I want that fight to happen. That'll be a really good fight. Like, the views, oh, man, that will kill it right there. I really feel that'll kill it. And one more question before I let you go. Do you feel that Daniel Jacobs was in the interview? Do you think he was kind of ducking Cotto and Gennady?
No, I got a newfound respect for Daniel Jacobs. I'm glad you brought it up. You guys could go check our interviews out on the Boxing Voice YouTube. He made it clear. Golovkin's at the top. I'm not there. I want to work my way up. I'm going to take some of these other champions on and work my ways to the Cottos and Golovkins. And that's okay. When you say that, that's okay. But when you say, no, you're the best out there and you just want to fight the best, well, then he's the best. So fight him. But when you're paying homage, he's paying homage. He's not ready. He's letting you know. So fuck it. Leave him alone. Let him fight whoever he wants.
Yeah, that's true. So do you think if he fought Daniel Gill, do you think it'll be a way tougher fight for him than what he fought last night?
Well, I mean, there's one thing that Jacobs has, and that's power. But what we haven't seen again since Dimitri Prague is his chin get tested. So the Quillen fight is a good fight if that's what they want to do. But a Gill fight, I would like that fight because it's a barometer fight. I like seeing guys in with guys that we've seen already, so we can get a gauge. Let's do this by facts instead of assumption. And I like to see guys get reused. Like I wouldn't mind Jacobs Curtis Stevens. I would like that fight. I don't even know. I mean, if Heyman isn't, well, I'm not even going to say that, but I'm sure Heyman is intelligent enough to know that he could still do Jacobs Stevenson in the Barclays and continue to build up Jacobs before he goes and do a big Daniel Jacobs, Peter Quillen. But Peter Quillen needs to fight someone in the Barclays Center in the meantime because he hasn't fought there since Guerrero. Because the whole thing that they're selling this fight is because it's allegedly a big Brooklyn fight, whatever. But they know that they get the crowd out. They had Paulie and Judah there, and it's sold out. Yeah. All right, brother, but I'm going to get to some other callers here. I'm going to go ahead and get to one of our callers, man. He's going to be a bit of a sourpuss. He changed his pick mid-fight.
Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Come on, Jim. It's okay to talk.
Mate, I didn't change my pick midway through the fight. I was taking the piss, but I could clearly see what was happening.
I don't know. I interpreted that tweet as you changing your pick. But listen, I'm gonna give Garrett Fletcher credit. He withstood that the barrage of punches in the first round. He even tested Jacobs a little bit. I've seen him land a very good shot on Jacobs, which leave it to Jacobs, who told us that gave him more motivation to take him out. That he wanted to have Jared be or get a little confident. So he did try, man, but he was just outgunned, dude. He was totally outgunned. I got to watch it again on TV too, and he was still outgunned. It was really bad.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. Oh, I got to eat my crow on that one.
Yeah, man. No, it's okay, man. You went for a long shot, but I got rules are rules.
We actually grew up in the same area. We live in the same town, and we have a few mutual friends and stuff. I'd seen him around and had a bit of a talk to him, and he seemed like he was. He was definitely taking it serious. He wasn't going there just for no reason. But yeah, I was wrong.
So what did Showtime convince you of these 8-card fighters?
Look, with Danny Jacobs, I mean, I'd still like to see more. I'm not 100% sold on him. I think he's solid, but I think there's still questions. But I mean, with Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia, there's nothing that card does absolutely nothing for me. But like you said, the question's more about for the casuals, But I know everyone wants to say that Danny had a lot of tough fights, which I completely agree with. I'm a Danny fan. I was rooting for him against Matisse, and I actually won money on that fight too. But the Salka was just a bit too far of a step back. I think you can't really argue against that. I don't really enjoy seeing some guy who's completely outgunned just getting sent to the walls type thing. It's not, Rod Salka seemed like a pretty nice guy. I saw him on a few interviews or whatever leading into the fight, or a bit of the road tour or whatever it was they do there. But yeah, I don't know. It was a bullshit card, and we all knew it, so that's all. What can you really be sold on by that?
I don't know. I think it could change the opinion of some casual fans. I think they were sold Danny Garcia as this big champion in Puerto Rico, and he had a tough fight. So they bring him back, and they show those fans why they invested money in him, and I think they did a good job of that. And according
it was a showcase. It was a showcase card, and that's what they did, was they showcased the fighters they were showcasing. So in that respect, well, then they did what they went out to achieve. So.
Well, I'm just saying from Showtime's perspective, right? Like, we seen it when we last seen Peter Quillen fight Jim Gray bring up the Daniel Jacobs fight. And Peter Quillen kind of brushed it off, saying he wanted the Gennady Golovkins and the Cottos of the world. But if the money is right, he'll do a Jacobs fight. Now, Jacobs' fight happens, and they do the same thing. They're basically setting up the fight the way that they set up the Danny Lucas fight. Remember, this is programming at its best. So I think their intentions is to do what they said they set out to do with Peterson, Garcia, and Peter versus Jacobs. I just don't know if it's going to happen, but I think that from a casual fan's perspective, I think that the job was done.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that fight will happen, to be honest. I mean, I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen. It's been in the pipeline for a long time, but I think it'll happen. I don't know.
You see,
it's just
the indication that I get from the Garcias and Angel specifically, because Danny said he'll fight, he don't care, but an Angel will fight too, but he always says something like, well, the thing is this, that belt's supposed to be ours. They fought at a catchweight. Lucas beat Lamont. We beat Lucas. That belt was ours. Yeah. And he also brings up the fact that belt was theirs when they beat Amir Khan, and the IBF decided against not giving it to him, right? Wasn't it like that or something like that?
Yeah.
So that's what that is. So, Jim, what else you got for me, man? I'm gonna get to some other callers here if you don't got nothing else, brother.
Did you watch that strawweight fight with Francisco Rodriguez and the Japanese guy?
The 105 pounders.
Hey?
The 105 pounders?
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I watched a couple of rounds of it because of Nelta, and he's on the line. Because of Nelta, I watched a couple of rounds because he sent me the link, and Vic just recently sent it too. I mean, all I seen was one short Mexican, going in circles, beating up the other bigger Mexican. I mean, it was okay. I couldn't get into it. They're just too small. It's like a cat and mouse game. I mean, people call Mayweather fights boring because he's elusive. Those little guys, man, that one little guy was just doing circles around the ring. Well,
I haven't watched the full fight. I started watching it. I had a link, and it was really poor quality, and I couldn't really see what was even going on. But I'd heard it was a good fight.
That's another thing. The link he sent me also was bad. I don't know if it was because I viewed it on my phone or what, but I was in my house under Wi-Fi.
I did the same thing.
I was under I was under Wi-Fi though, so it shouldn't have been that pixel. I couldn't even tell you which one of those dudes was. I think they were both Mexican, but I just know one was taller and lighter. Yeah, man. I don't know. But, Jim, let me get to some other callers. The phone lines are stacking up here. 773. This is probably one of the biggest Garcia fans. This is Tony, right?
Yes, sir. What's good?
Were you happy to see your boy Ice Rod Salka?
Yeah, bro. I'm calling to eat my crow, bro. I had Salka knocking out Danny in the third round, bro. My bad. Hello?
Yeah, well, rules are rules, man. If you picked Salka.
Hello?
Yeah, talk to me, brother.
No, man, I just want to say I wanted to talk about something that was really interesting that Paulie said that I was actually thinking, man, because, all right, like I knew that Danny, I mean, I can't defend this card, man. I'm the hardest core Danny fan there is. I can't defend Danny this whole card because, I knew 100% that Danny was going to beat this guy. 1,000%. I know he was going to beat Salka. But when I was looking at Danny throwing off those punches, man, he looked very sharp. Like, I know what's going on. I know he's going at 130, 140-pound guy, or like a lightweight, whatever, but he looked really, really sharp, Ness. Like, I don't know if you've seen the fight again on replay, but he looked really, really sharp, man. His punches were going off. I mean, he was just on point, man. He looked focused. He looked determined like the Lucas fight. He wasn't like all thrown off like in the Herrera fight, because I believe that Danny was, he kind of lost his focus.
Well, he said it. He said it, Tony. He said it in the post-fight interview with us. He said he took Herrera lightly. He said he believed the fans when they said that Herrera was a mismatch. And in this fight, he didn't listen to the fans. He just trained for the best fighter possible.
Exactly. Yep.
I know people are gonna say, yeah, he's saying all the right things, whatever. At the end of the day, it was an easy fight. But again, that leads us back to him being through the gauntlet. I want a caller like Nelta, who I'm going to next, who's a fucking walking boxing encyclopedia, to tell me another fighter in this era that has done that, that's consistently fought good fighters 8 consecutive times.
Ness, am I still on? Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Look at. They have all done it. All the greatest in history. You got Wikipedia, you got BoxRec. They've all fought guys. Okay, I just think that the hate for Danny is so obvious, man. It's the tone when people talk about Danny, they're truly hating because it's like Danny, like I said, he's not supposed to be here. He was supposed to lose to Morales. He was supposed to lose. He was a 7-1 underdog against Khan. He was supposed to lose. There are certain people out there that cannot deal with it. Deal with the fact that Danny is a champion, okay? They can't deal with the fact that he does rap videos. They can't deal with none of that shit, okay? Like I said, one of my favorite fighters of all time is Julio Cesar Chavez. And that dude had a lot of bums. He fought a lot of bums, bro. Mayweather fought some fucking bums in his day. You know what I'm saying? And he's considered, I guess, the best ever. That's what he says. Ray Leonard did it. They all had bums, okay? Now, here's the thing. Now, Danny, he got to fight somebody good next, and I'm confident that he will. He's not going to keep fighting these bums. He's going to fight either Lamont Peterson, okay, or he's going to fight somebody in the welterweight category. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, my guess, if I was Al Heyman, which I'm not, but what I would do is have Danny fight Lamont Peterson next in December, okay, and then have him fight Broner next year, early in the year, March, whatever, and then that'll set up, if Danny wins, I'll set up a match with Floyd in September, which will probably be Floyd's last fight. You know what I'm saying? And that by that time, that will give Danny that much more exposure. You see what I'm saying? But don't get caught up, bro. Listen, they've all took these bum-ass fights. They've all done it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If you don't believe it, just go on BoxRec. Look up any fighter throughout history. They've all fought these bums. And the way I see it is this, okay? I understand why he did it. I don't agree with it. But I understand what they were trying to do. They're trying to build up the Danny Lamont fight. Put them on the same card, just like they did back in the day with Cotto, when they had Cotto and Margarito fight on the same card. You know what I'm saying? That's when Margarito knocked out the Puerto Rican dude, Cintron. And then Cotto fought that other dude, Gomez. They had them fight on the same card. Boom. They ended up fighting in June the same year, whatever. But they all do it. They've all done it. Like you said, I'm a hardcore Danny fan. Like I said, I don't apologize for that. I don't need Danny to prove anything to me. I want him to fight the biggest names. But I don't necessarily need that man to come out there and prove anything to me or anybody else. He's proven it already. But as fans, we want Danny to just continue to start fighting the best. That's it. That's
hey, Tony,
it. And
let
they
me
know
get
that.
to some other people, Tony, but I'm going to put you
No
on
problem,
hold
bro.
here. I want to definitely switch topics just for a little bit to talk about this ESPN, the Teddy Atlas rant. Please, somebody call in. Let's talk this Teddy Atlas rant. Actually, let me bring on Nelta for this section of the show here. Nelta, man, what's up? No intro today. Willie Nelson, brother, this guy continues to disappoint me. I don't understand it. It's like he's on HBO and he shits the bed with Chihuelo. Now he's on ESPN, and he had a really tough fight with Grajada, man. Nelta? Maybe this isn't Nelta? Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to go to Robbie. Robbie, no intro. Listen, Willie Nelson, tell me you're seeing these fights.
First of all, I want to apologize if I have any noise. I've got phone issues, and I'm going to have to call the company in the morning. So if there's static, I apologize.
Robbie, don't worry about that. Never mind that. Let's get straight into it, brother. Did you watch Friday Night Fights?
No, I did not, but I heard about the Teddy Atlas
You're
rant.
no help at all. You're no help at all. I'm coming back to you. Let me see. 773. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, that's me, bro. I'm on hold.
Damn it. Fumbling all over the place. 718. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yeah, what's going on, Ness? Yo,
Damn, QB. Oh, man, we had an intro all for you, but we couldn't get it back in time. It is done, though.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. First of all, I want to call and apologize how I treated Danny and the other three fighters. I understand what they did to build up for probably a fight with him and Peterson. And I understand, man, the way Danny looked, man, you know what I'm saying, the way Danny looked, I think he could beat he would have gave any welterweight problems, man. Danny's sharp. He's sharp as an arrow, man. Trust me, man. Danny is sharp. And I want to give him his props, man. I think the Salka fight was just a tune-up for him to get back because what happened with Herrera. You know, he wasn't focused. I don't know because of the fame or whatever the situation is. And Lamar Peterson, that dude, he fought, man. It was he was just guess he just wanted a payday. That's my opinion. And I like the way Daniel Jacobs looked. He looked real good, you know, and he's an up and coming good fighter too, man. I want to see him and Kid Chocolate fight and all that. And yeah, but I understand what they trying to do with Danny. Fought a lot of men. You make a lot of sense, Ness, man. Danny fought a lot of good fighters, man.
Back
so
to back.
If he have a little like if he have a little setback, then it's all good, man. Danny fought the best, man, and he early in his career right now. He fought the best at 140. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? I want to be blown at. I'm on the Danny bandwagon. I'm on the Danny bandwagon right now. I like the way he moving his feet now, yo. He looking sharp. I knew he always can box because in the amateurs, man. But I know he wasn't focused with that Herrera fight. And I believe if they have a rematch, he'll whoop Herrera ass. You know what I'm saying? Danny looking sharp, and I'm riding with Danny right now. I'm on that Danny bandwagon right now. And another thing I wanted to ask you, man. Did you see my boy Sammy Vasquez?
Yes. Yes.
That boy, yo. He a problem, man.
He is.
He's a problem, my boy.
He's 140 too, right?
Man, did you see that fight?
He had 140, right?
Welterweight, I think.
Oh man, he's at welter.
Either 140 or 147. Yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
look it up. I hope it's not welter because
he
welter's
coming,
too
boy.
big.
You see how he move? He a problem for them dudes, man.
Oh, actually, I should have it in. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, he's definitely a problem, man. He's a problem, man. Yeah, Vasquez, the way he was angling, man, that jab, man, combinations. He the ring generalship and everything, man. He's a good man. Listen, did you find it?
Nah, I don't see it here. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Oh, he is a welterweight. Damn.
Right. And a lot of dudes, man, listen.
I don't know, man. He don't look that
Broner
big.
Right now, he'll stop Broner, man. Or
yeah, but but he's a welterweight, not a junior welterweight. He doesn't look that big. That's what I'm saying.
He don't look that big.
Now.
He
knocking guys out now, but I don't know about when he start fighting real guys because he knocking guys out.
Right. But I think he got a chin though, Ness. His chin got tested. He wobbled a little bit. He focused there. But man? Listen, I don't want him to fight nobody like Keith Thurman and all of them. Not yet. I want him to work his way up, but he's going to be a problem too.
Yo, think about him, and I'm going to get to some other callers, but think about him next to Randall Bailey. He looks small to me. I thought he was a junior welterweight. I swear I hope he goes down. QB, I'm going to get to some other people here. Nelta, tell me please that you watch Friday Night Fights.
Of course, man.
I know,
Which
man.
one?
You're
I
walking
watched all of them, dog.
Boxopedia.
There was like 4 different cards.
You're like a walking Boxopedia here, man. Willie Nelson, he just continues to disappoint me. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
Oh, yeah, man.
Listen, I'm gonna make a call to action to the fans right now to tweet Lou DiBella and put this kid Willie Nelson on some Broadway boxing off TV. Keep him busy. This inactivity is killing this kid. Because every time out, he's shit in the bed, and he has all the tools, power, height, fucking boxing ability. But just like Atlas says, this dude gives up his height. He wants to slug it, and he's got this fucking vulnerable chin. But look how far Tommy Hearns went with his fucking chin. Come on. Man.
Well, I mean, to be honest, though, when it came to Tommy Hearns, he only got knocked out by high-level opposition. You know, he only got knocked out by, the elites, really.
Well, Nelson hasn't been knocked out.
Knocked out by bums, really.
Nelson hasn't been knocked out. He's been down. He hasn't been knocked out. He still got hope, is what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, like, the level of opposition that he's fighting, they're not elite guys. So I mean,
I understand that.
That's not a great one to do.
I understand that, but the kid has dedication. Look, he's from Cleveland. He moved to Youngstown. He's living with Jack Lowe. He's training day in, day out. I don't really understand what it is unless it's that Jack Lowe has come to his end with this kid. You know, similar to Pavlik where they could only go but so far. maybe this kid needs to
That's
break
a
away.
possibility.
Because listen,
That's a possibility. I mean,
and I'm not gonna blame it on Jack Lowe because he could be heard in the corner telling fucking Nelson to jab and to stop giving up his height. But you think he'd listen? Absolutely not. He didn't fucking listen. I don't understand.
well, and the thing is, there's a better way of fighting on the inside than what he's doing. The problem is he's leaving his fucking chin hanging out in the air.
It's horrible, man. He squeaked out a decision, but it seems like a fight with him and Andy Lee would be like candidate of the year because they both got, well, Andy Lee's got a pretty good chin.
Man, yeah, well, that's the thing, man. The way Andy Lee starts down,
Well,
John
actually,
Jackson was scary, man. And
Andy
that's
Lee-
exactly what he would do with a Willie.
Andy Lee's chin is kind of suspect. I mean, remember, Vera knocked him out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of is, but I mean, the thing is, he largely got broken down in the fights where he was knocked out in. But he's got straight one-shot kill power, and Willie Nelson getting rocked by these level of guys who aren't, I don't think, on the level of his power. I mean, I think Lee would starch him out, man. I think he'd do a Sergio Martinez, Paul Williams on his ass.
Maybe so, but that would be a good fight because we'd be sure some action and some high-level drama. But Jason Escalera, brother, man, you know, I remember when he fought Edwin Rodriguez, we covered him really good. You know, the lights was on him. ESPN did something. He was the new Rocky. I even wrote a story because they were so similar. He worked in a meat packing thing and all this stuff. And, this is a blue-collar guy, and he added some excitement by taking this fight with 2 weeks' notice, bro. And, look, I'm not saying what he did was the greatest thing. But
well, he knocked off an undefeated fighter, so I mean, you can give him that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm gonna give him credit for doing that, but I don't know how much because this is an undefeated fighter where all his fights were in Mexico, right?
What? The guy's from Hungary, man.
Nemsi? I thought he was from Mexico. He looked Mexican.
Yeah, like,
you sure?
Nemispati or whatever the hell his name is.
I'm looking it up. I could have, man.
That's Hungarian.
Okay,
Yeah, from
okay.
Mexico.
Well, the point is, what's his record is what I'm saying. Where was his fights at? And look, all in Hungary. Or Hungary, whatever the fuck you want to say. Is all of them are there. Let me see. Not even, there's another one. There's a few in, there's like 2 in Slovakia? I don't even know where that's from. So please, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much credit, but taking that out of the equation, that this guy was untested. Look at the record anyway. Now, 6-3 fighters, 9-2 fighters, 2-0 fighters, 4-3 fighters, 3-4, 12-5, 19-12. Man, get the fuck out of here. But they brought some excitement to Friday Night Fights. That was an exciting fight. That first round was awesome. What happened?
It's that whole 2-week notice. It's that. We'll see what makes it good is that whole 2-week notice thing. You know, it kind of harkens back to, you know, the quote unquote old days or whatever when guys would fight really often. So I mean, you just get guys that would come up and fight somebody that's not really like a great fighter, but they would fight him, you know, on kind of short notice, and they'd handle him, and that's what he did. So I mean, I guess you could give him props at least for that. You know, it's not like he moved pillars and, you know, changed the world or anything, but
no, absolutely. But I'm saying, listen, you're right. As far as rankings go, or where you know what's next for Jason Escalera, no. I'm not even you know having that discussion. What I'm saying is, this was an exciting fight. There was high level drama in this fight. There was big punches in this fight. This was a good fight, and it was, the drama for me was that a guy with the namesake of a Jason Escalera, because let's be honest, before Edwin Rodriguez, he hadn't really faced anybody. He was an ESPN level fighter himself, but he fought Edwin Rodriguez. He gave it his all too, you know, got his eardrum busted and everything. I remember being live at that fight, dude. It was awful. But it shows that guy, regardless of that loss, he stood at that level. He trained at that level because he was ready, because I was waiting for him to gas out. Just the suntan on that man's body told me he wasn't fucking training. I know some could say, oh, no, that's him running. He's jogging with a tank top. That's why he got the suntan. No, he wasn't training to me. His face didn't give me he didn't even have a haircut, for God's sakes. He didn't give me the look of a fighter who was ready for war, and he was fucking ready for war. He fought all those rounds until he got his man out of there. That was a good fight. That was a good fight. I hope you guys watched that fight.
Yeah, it was. But I think the best fight that day, though, was Monty Clay, man. That shit was nice. Him versus Herrera.
Man, you see, Nelta, you always have to find a way to disappoint me. I don't even get that. Why you gotta be one of them rock'em sock'em dudes? Monty versus Herrera was just fucking balls to the wall. I'm coming forward.
That was.
Oh man, there was no skill in that. Listen. There was no skill in what we seen in that fight, but I am going to say Meza Clay, he was good. He did some good things. I like his movement. He took a lot of shots, but I like the way that he was getting into the inside. But, you know, Alan Herrera, we've seen him before. He's not a world beater. And you know, Monty Meza Clay had a really tough time.
Well, come on, Ness. I mean, you're comparing a guy that hell fights in Hungary and a dude that was an untested prospect with these two. I mean, and you're gonna like act like there's at some high skill level that these guys aren't. Monty Meza Clay was always a fringe contender level guy. And plus, I mean, what he was doing is, I'm not gonna make a direct comparison because that'd be disrespectful to the legend. But that was I mean, you calling that rock'em sock'em to me, I feel like if we watched Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali, you'd be like, oh, Joe Frazier's just rock'em sock'em though.
Why? Because he was swaying from the waist every now and then? Why? Because he was dipping at the waist every now and then and coming up with a shot or a counter? That's why?
Yeah.
Please, how many shots was he taking?
Hey, man, he did the damn thing. He was
right. Hey, listen, he got the win. He got the win. It was a TKO win. But tell me, with all those shots that he was taking, once he moves up in level of opposition, somebody doesn't sleep this kid.
Well, I mean, he's already been slept before. He got knocked out by Jorge Solis.
Well, there you go. There you go. Question answered.
I'm just saying, man. What do you think is going to happen to Jason Escalera when he steps up? I mean, you think this guy is going to be straight up world beater?
Well,
I mean,
we've seen. No. Oh my God! You
want to make direct comparisons.
You're misinterpreting what I took out of Jason Escalera. Jason Escalera has already proven to us that he's not world class. He's going to be that Randall Bailey type of guy one day. And that's kind of disrespecting Randall Bailey because I believe he was like a two-time champion. But maybe a step under Randall Bailey, let's say. He's going to be a contender, one of those guys that tests your prospect. Meza is at prospect level and failing already and then going to war with dudes that prospects are supposed to blow through. You want me to go through Alan Herrera's record? You want me to show you?
Prospect, man. He's like a fringe contender type guy. He's like a gatekeeper.
Who? Alan Herrera?
Meza. He's like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, but he's making the comeback. He was the A side, bro. That's what I'm trying to. He's the Soto Carras in this case. You understand? He's not the Soto Carras.
Yeah, I got you.
Listen, he's not the Soto Carras versus Rosado. He's the Soto Carras versus Berto. You know, so, but those were some entertaining fights. Fox Sports won. I wonder what happened though. Have anybody noticed the shift? Is really no more Golden Boy? It's like Fox Sports has Tyson, or are they both airing cards?
I'm pretty no. They're both airing cards, man. That Jerry Belmonte's Abner Cotto was Golden Boy, wasn't it?
You know that
that was the day before.
You know that I freaking missed it, and I'm glad because I see that Abner Cotto beat Jerry Belmonte. Is that some sad shit or what? I can't believe Jerry Belmonte.
Belmonte's got no stamina, man. That's what's wrong with the kid.
Damn,
it looked like he was gonna knock Cotto out in the first round. He hurt him bad, and then just like had nothing to give afterwards. Cotto just kind of comfy boxed his way to a decision.
Damn shame. 757, you're live. Who's this? Whoa.
Yeah, this is Antonio from What's up, Ness?
Antonio, hang up, call back in. I would go right to you. You got like all types of stuff going on, brother. 832, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 832, you're live.
I'm just listening in.
All right, no problem, brother. 111111, you're live. What is going on today with these people? 312, you're live.
What up, Nash? It's King J.
King J, what's up, brother? Talk to me.
Man, I'm going to get at you. Let me find out you defending Danny. Let me find that out. Let me find out you impressed.
Listen.
Because he knocked out a journeyman.
Listen. First of all, Salka's not a journeyman. Secondly,
all right, let me ask you.
No. Wait a minute. Before you attack me, name one fighter in this era that's faced the level of competition that Danny has faced consecutively. Go ahead. Take your time.
All right. First, okay. All right. Let me ask you this then. So if this was your plan the whole time, why'd you do a random show to dog Danny, and now you back on the wagon?
I never left the wagon.
I'll take your time.
That's the difference. I never left the wagon. That's the difference between a casual fan and a hardcore fan. I'm a real fan. I'm always.
Okay, we roll to dog him.
You ain't popping no champagne. You ain't popping no champagne. You ain't hopping no damn plane. Okay, we roll. Hey.
Yo, I'm always be rolling. I did a show to dog him because I'm a real boxing fan, and that fight was unacceptable. But there's always two sides to a coin. There's always two sides to a coin, and the other side of that coin.
When you keep flipping it over, you're gonna find the other side. But this is only obvious one side. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Put him in there with Keith Thurman. What are you gonna get? What's the outcome that you're gonna get if you put Salka with Keith Thurman? You put him in there with Porter. What are you gonna get? I don't see how anybody's impressed by this. If you didn't see this shit coming, I mean, it's Salka. Put Bill Montez in there, another 135-pounder, 130. Make him go up to 140 and fight fucking Thurman, and look what the fuck's gonna happen.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
I guess he forgot that I'm a Danny Garcia fan.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You know, and I'm glad you got one. And it was a good knockout. But look, all seriousness, you know.
But King J, no. You asked me some questions.
Look, hold on.
Wait, King J.
All I'm saying is I think it was bullshit, man, because he could have, you know, he's a small-ass dude, man. Everybody knows Danny got power. He could really hurt that little motherfucker, man. You seen how hard he hit his ass?
Yo, that was a warning to the rest of the division.
Oh, my. To 144 division, right? Or what was it, 142?
There lies Salka, sacrificial lamb, to all to witness Danny's glory.
Yeah, anybody else that wants to do a catchweight at 142, let them watch that fight. That shit ain't happening.
King J, but you asked me some questions you didn't allow me to answer. I mean, tell me the question, make it nice and sweet and short so I can hear it, and I want to rebuttal because I could defend him. I could truly defend him.
Okay, so I just asked you another one. I said, would you not see this coming from a Keith? If you put Salka in with Keith Thurman, will we get the same outcome?
Well, this is the problem. Keith Thurman is a welterweight. Name another 140-pounder, and I could say Matisse, that would give you
Matisse.
But let me finish. That would give you that type of result. And for one moment, King J, when a guy like, I don't know, Gennady Golovkin knocks out Ishida, or what was the other dude's name? Adama. It's okay, but Danny can't knock out
but
Salka?
he's not the lenient champion, my man. He's not doing a catchweight of 142.
Well, King
fighting
J.
a number 77 in the rankings. He wasn't even ranked. They ranked this guy on purpose for the people.
Okay, King J, let me rebuttal.
Okay.
Most of Golovkin's fighters are moving up in weight, so they're not ranked either. Secondly, right? When a guy fights a bum, you want him to handle the bum as a bum. He did that. He didn't go 12 rounds with him. He didn't go 12 rounds. He knocked him out. He made it a short night.
Yes.
So how are you
now
mad?
let me rebuttal to you.
Go ahead.
You brought up Triple G, and me and you know that division is weak. Name me 3 weak fighters at 140 out of 147. You can't even come up with them. So why the fuck would you fight someone at 142?
Listen,
140 is stacked, my man. 147 is stacked. There's so many fights. Why the fuck are we getting Salka?
All right, is it my turn to rebuttal?
Saying. I'm not saying that he did what he was supposed to do. He knocked him the fuck out.
Is it my turn to rebuttal?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 4 fighters at 140. Boom. He beat the number 2 in Lucas. Bye-bye. Whether you like it or not, he beat Mauricio Herrera. But we can leave that one in a bracket for a possible rematch looking forward, okay? And Herrera and Matisse. But he beat both of those. Peterson lost to Lucas Matisse. Ruslan is on Top Rank and Banner Promotions contracts with HBO. Delorme's HBO. Vargas is HBO. Alacaverdi's HBO. Pistola's HBO. Who do you want him to fight? Cesar Rene Canseco? Emmanuel Taylor is now...
What is Adrian Broner?
Listen, Emmanuel Taylor and Adrian Broner are in a fight. Johan Perez just lost to Herrera. Umberto Soto got beat up by Lucas Matisse years ago, and he's top 15. That's the top 15 I just gave you.
Okay,
the champion,
but check this out.
But let me finish. Oh, I forgot Chris Algieri, who's tied up with Pacquiao, and he's also top ranked now, because you know they got options, 3 options on him.
See, but you going by the books, Ness, because you're saying okay, he beat Herrera. Me and you know he didn't beat Herrera. Because if not, you would not give Angel Garcia shit. He did not beat Herrera.
Listen, my friend. Knowing you didn't know, I don't know what you're talking about, because I had him winning. You guys have that on the Boxing Coalition. You know I said he won.
So why you asking the question for a rematch? Why'd you ask Angel if a rematch is necessary? You seen him winning.
Because the public, when the public demands something, you as a fighter have to give it to him. The same way the public demanded Lucas Matisse, he came up.
So who demanded Salka?
It's not about demand for Salka. For Salka, it's a sacrificial lamb. The champion has been at war for decades. He's been at war for decades, conquering the land, and when he comes home,
I'm not sitting on his resume, because like I said before, I personally don't like Danny Garcia, but if we go by resumes, he has one of the best resumes in the past years. Okay. All I'm saying is there's no way you can defend this Salka shit. There's no way. No way.
What do you mean? How can I defend this Salka shit? How can you then not have this same type of get this upset when Canelo, right? When Canelo made Matthew Hatton move up to 154 and offer him a title shot.
I don't even like Canelo, so
but what I'm showing you,
it's bullshit. It's bullshit. But listen, this is the problem, though, Ness. This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the lenient champion. The fight that should have been made, whether you like it or not, or anybody doesn't like it, is Lamont Peterson. Whether he was going to be Peterson or not, because I honestly think he will be Peterson. But that's the fight that should have been made, point blank, period. That's it. No way around it. Ain't no fucking catchweights at 142. What type of shit is that?
That may be so, but from a team perspective, a dude that fought 8 consecutive B or upper, B class or better level opposition from prospect. He skipped from prospect to champion. Don't forget that. Because after Kendall Holt, I don't know, do you want to call him a contender? Or was he still a prospect when he fought Eric Morales and became a champion that night? And then he was fed to the wolves, and the allegedly more experienced, better, bigger, famous, more popular Amir Khan, and he iced him. Then the legend in Morales had a rematch clause and wanted some get back, and he spun him like a top. I mean, the kid's been at war. He can't get a fucking gimme fight?
So you're giving us... his gimme fight was Herrera, and he got his ass whooped.
Oh, his gimme fight was Herrera. So Herrera's a bum to you? Herrera's a bum?
No, he's not a bum.
So then how the fuck is that a gimme fight? How is that a gimme fight?
So don't try to defend it.
How is it a gimme fight? if he beat fucking Ruslan? How is it a gimme fight if he went life and death with Alvarado? How was it a gimme fight when he just iced Johan Perez?
So before the Herrera fight, you were giving Herrera any chance? No,
absolutely.
You fucking
Listen,
weren't.
absolutely, King J. Evidently, you don't listen to the show enough to know that I was defending.
I listened to it, man. You gave him. You said he was going to be a tough fight for Danny, but he was not going to win.
But let me
Come
finish.
on, man.
Let's
just cut it out. Look, all I'm saying is. There's no way of defending the Salka fight, man. Other than that, Danny's good in my book.
I'm clearly doing
fighter.
a good job of defending it. I don't know what you're saying. Nelta, you're on the line. Am I not defending this?
Mayweather, so check this out. Mayweather's been fighting the top fighters from A or B class fighters. So can we give Mayweather a fucking fight at he wants to make it a fight at 149 against a fucking bum? Can we give Mayweather a pass?
Well, he's getting a similar pass, and I'll tell you how. Isn't he defending 2 different titles in 2 different divisions versus a welterweight?
He's fighting Maidana, man. There's a chance that even though I think he's going to get his ass whooped, there's a chance Maidana could knock Mayweather the fuck out. There was 0 chance of Danny losing this fight. 0, my friend. The odds were fucking 70-something to 1.
So wait a minute. So now you're switching. Now you're reaching so bad that you want to compare Mayweather Maidana to Rod Salka Garcia. Why is that even a comparison? Tell me.
Because you just brought this up. You said that Mayweather's getting a gimme fight. How is Maidana a gimme fight?
I never said that. I never said that's a fucking gimme fight.
You said he's getting a pass from Maidana. That Mayweather's
Listen, you misunderstood me. The only reason I even addressed the Mayweather is because you brought it up. So I said it's similar that he's getting his way in this fight because of the gloves and because of the defense of the 2 titles.
But it's not similar because look at the level of competition.
I'm not saying it's a gimme fight. Let's just make that clear. I'm not saying that's a fucking gimme fight at all.
But look, it's cool, Ness. I'm just saying, man, that everybody should have known, and I think it's obvious. There was fucking negative 55% chance of Danny losing this fight.
I'm not even debating that. All I'm saying is he's entitled to a gimme fight. And all I'm saying is when you fight a dude that's not on your level.
I understand he's entitled to a gimme fight, but not this type of level competition and a catch with a 142.
Well, I mean, it's a catch-22. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation because he fought a dude that wasn't on his level and he folded him away like a folding chair in wrestling, and you're still mad. Had he went the decision, you would have been happy. I don't get it.
No, I mean, look, all I'm saying, man, is that he could have picked someone a little bit more credible at 140. I don't give no fuck who it was. A solid 140 pounder. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but we just went through the entire. Listen, we just went through the top 15, and you didn't stop at any name because they either tied up or just coming off a fight or the fight was made.
I just named you Peterson.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. I can't defend that. They were both free for this date, but that would have meant that Danny doesn't get the gimme fight after fighting 8 straight tough names. Don't you get that? He needs a break.
But why? Well, why are you okay with fighters getting gimme fights? That's the only thing I'm asking.
Because
why are you okay with that?
he just fought 8 straight tough names. Name another fighter that's done that.
But he didn't fucking have trouble with some of them, man. That doesn't matter. I'm not cool with this gimme fight shit, man. And this catchweight shit needs to stop, man. This shit is fucking ridiculous, man. This catchweight shit is bullshit, man.
Let me ask you something. In football and in baseball, don't they have scrimmages?
Yeah.
Okay, boxing doesn't get a scrimmage, right? Boxing doesn't get a scrimmage.
But sparring.
Listen, no, it's not sparring because sparring is headgear. And sparring is only meant for specific things. It's not a fight. You're working on things for the fight. It's different. So boxing doesn't have scrimmages. This is a scrimmage, man. The dude needed a break. Name another fighter that had 8 straight tough fights. From prospect stage. You can't say it. Amir Khan didn't because Demetrius Salita did nothing for his career. It wasn't a stepping stone. It wasn't anything at all. It was just a free fight. It was a free fight. And Broner has had free fights. Broner's had free fights.
This is what I'm saying, though, Ness. You said a gimme fight. Look, man, however you want to put it or not, Danny was supposed to whoop Herrera. They set him up for a fucking fight. They tried to build his name. This motherfucker was on YouTube commercials. They made the fight in Puerto Rico. They put the judges on his side. So I don't know how the fuck that was not a gimme fight all the way, but he was supposed to win that fight. I don't care what you say.
Of course.
He was supposed to win that fight.
Listen, King J, of course. You're absolutely right. He was supposed to win because he just came off of the fight that everybody thought he would lose. He just beat Lucas Matisse, who they had ranked as the champion when Danny was already the lineal champion. Okay? So this is what happened. Now, they overrated him for the Herrera fight. They overlooked Herrera, both the media and the camp, but not me. Remember, I was the guy saying, this is going to be a tough fight. This is going to be a tough fight. And guys is like, oh, Ness, get out of here. You trying to sell us this bullshit. He should be fighting Peterson. Come on, man. You don't remember that? Herrera ain't no bum. I never, ever called him a bum. Even when I was shitting on Ruslan, saying that Herrera beat him, I was kind of saying, like, look, Mauricio Herrera beat Ruslan. But look, he ended up being a lot better than all of us thought, hadn't he?
Okay, so okay, instead of Salka, why didn't he fight Herrera again?
What?
Why didn't he fight Herrera again?
Because you know what's going over your head, King J? You don't want to grasp on to the concept of they wanted a scrimmage fight. It was too much war after war.
No, I understand that, man, but I'm not okay with it. That's the only thing I'm trying to tell you. I'm not okay with that.
But that's where the
you know what I mean. I guess I understand your point, and you know, maybe there's some people that feel the way I do, and there's some people that feel the way you do. But I'm not okay with these gimme fights, man. I'm not as a champion, man. As lenient champion, when you could have just fought Peterson, and honestly, man, Danny would have whooped Peterson. I think he whoops Peterson. Why wouldn't you just fight him and take the fucking, you know, clear the fucking division out?
King J, let me ask you, what is the difference between Mauricio Herrera versus Danny Garcia and Canelo Alvarez versus Alfredo Angulo? There's no difference. In both fights, we thought the A side would beat the B side. Even fewer people thought that Herrera would be difficult or cause difficulties to Danny. More people thought that Angulo and his come forward style, so much so that Beeb, you know, a lot of you guys think highly of his opinion, and he thought that Angulo would beat Canelo. Styles make fights. Right. Styles make fights, and what happened there is that was an easy fight for Canelo coming off of a loss. Just like Herrera was supposed to be an easy fight, but the matchmakers make mistakes sometimes. They make mistakes. You seen Eric Gomez. He knows he made a mistake with this fight. You heard the videos. He's like, no, Danny beat Lucas. Y'all should leave him alone, basically, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yourself.
No, it's all good, man. I'm just giving you a hard time for this shit, man. But
listen, I wish.
All I'm saying, man, is I thought it was too much of an easy of a gimme fight, man. I don't know. I wasn't cool with that shit, man. And you know what's fucked up? That I'm not, dude. It's just everywhere, man. You know, it's bad enough that a lot of people don't like Danny Garcia, and then you pull this type of shit, and you get so much hate. So now he's gonna have to turn into, you know, they were kind of starting to like him now into the fucking bad guy. You know, the people that are gonna see him, they're gonna see him because they want to see him lose now.
I don't. But look, if he fights Peterson, everybody will be jumping on the Peterson bandwagon because fuck Danny, but then he ices Peterson.
That's what I'm saying, because they're gonna turn to fans that want to see Danny lose.
Yeah, but then they're back. Once he ices Peterson, then they're back. Peterson, he can't help but fight on the inside. So eventually he'll get hit by a left hook because he doesn't hit hard enough to knock out Garcia. So eventually Garcia's going to land a left hook. But Kev, let me get to somebody. I mean, King J, let me get to somebody else. Thanks for calling in. Always enjoyed the debate.
Hey, it's all good.
Oh, sorry, brother. I didn't know you was out.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, great show, man, and hey, good shit, man.
Thank you, bro. Always enjoy the debate, brother. Keep calling in. We need to go at it. Chris Miller, you're live. Who's this? Well, Chris Miller, you're live.
Yeah, it's Chris Miller.
What's up, brother? Talk to me.
So, what do you think of Danny Garcia and the puppet mask he walked into the ring with?
Well, actually, that was the Purge mask from the movie Purge Anarchy. So basically, you know, he was implicating that Rod Salka was one of those unlucky few that got left outside during the 24-hour purge, and he was out to kill him, which he did.
I believe it's more like he's a puppet who's controlled. He's a control fighter. Like, I don't know who this guy is. This Danny Garcia guy, I don't like him anymore. I don't like this guy anymore. This is not a fair fight.
Well, you're absolutely right about that. I won't disagree there. It wasn't a fair fight. But it was
You're asking a guy to move up a division and then also 2 pounds? Like, what the fuck was that? You like that fight?
No,
I'm watching
but I
it right now on my computer here, and I'm watching the guy who just fucking got knocked out, almost brain damage we're looking at, and we're supposed to enjoy that? No.
Well, I understand the business of boxing, and when you're building a brand in a fighter, sometimes these fights are necessary in order to rebuild.
So we're okay like giving this guy brain damage here. I'm looking at Rod Salka on the mat, eyes closed, delusional.
But wait, caller, wait a minute. So whose fault is that Rod Salka got knocked out? He signed to take this fight.
Well, so he originally signed to fight at 140, right?
Yeah, and he still had to re-sign to fight at 142. That doesn't just happen. He got picked. Listen.
Look who you're pushing this guy. You're pushing this guy to 140, and then you say, okay, now you know what? No, we're gonna push you to 142. He's already like.
They offered him. Listen to me. They offered him more money for the extra weight, and he took it. This is a business. He took it.
Right.
That's it. So you can't feel sympathy. You can't feel sympathetic. You can't feel sympathetic for a guy who signed away his own life. It's his life. He signed it away.
But you can't come up and big up these fucking mismatches.
I'm not bigging it up. I'm telling you, I understand it's a mismatch, but I understand why these things happen in boxing.
This is not a fair fight, man. This is not cool. This is not the boxing I like.
Well, this year we haven't had much boxing that we all like, brother. You know that.
Danny Garcia, fucking stop smiling at the camera. Get the fuck out of here, man. The camera does not like him. Tell you that. He likes the camera more than the camera likes him.
Hey, man, I think Nelta said it best, or one of the callers. I think it was Tony. He said, Danny's not supposed to be here. That's why guys hate him. Chris, what else you got for us?
Well, what's with this fucking God mask? Like,
you're not getting it. It's an exact replica of the movie The Purge. It's not an indication that he thinks. Listen, you're not letting me finish because I think you got a misinterpretation. It's not an indication that he feels he is a god. It's a mask, a direct prop out of a movie. He's reinventing The Purge for boxing instead of it being a movie. He's doing it in boxing. You don't get the metaphor?
No, the metaphor. He's telling the audience that he's a puppet. That's the metaphor.
All right, my friend. Well, that's where we agree to disagree. What else can we do for you?
Yeah, fuck Danny Garcia, man. He needs to fight Lamont Peterson or fucking vacate.
Do you doubt that he will?
And that fight's not happening. That fight won't happen.
Do you doubt that he will fight Lamont Peterson?
That fight is not happening.
So you doubt it?
No chance he's fighting Lamont Peterson.
All right, brother. Let me get to some other callers, Chris. I'm gonna get to some other callers. You got anything else? I don't want to rush you off. You got anything else, or is it just the Danny Garcia topic?
Yeah, that's the only topic. What else is there?
I hear you, man. I understand your frustrations. Believe me. There's a lot of you guys calling in. Tune in and listen.
Oh.
Let's get to some other callers here, man. Who do we got? Hey, Nelta, what's up, brother? You scared over there?
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Yeah, what's up, man? I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit, man. Hey, Nels.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nels, you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, you hear about my man Frank Maloney over there in England?
You know, I think it was Chris on Twitter tweeted me to talk about it, but I hadn't had the. Let me check actually. Let me check if.
That nigga turned that nigga turned himself into a woman, man. That's some crazy shit, yo.
Yeah, I didn't read the details. But,
Hey, yo, read that shit when you get a chance. That nigga chopped the shit off, all that shit. hey, man, look, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with that fight. Man. That was a weird shit. Only thing I ain't like about that fight, man, that dude was too fucking little to be in the ring, man. He was too little, yo. He was a little motherfucker, man. He's little, man. He look like somebody beating up their little fucking brother, man. I'm like, God damn. Look how little this motherfucker is, man.
They look the same
Hey,
size
you
to
see
me.
how little this motherfucker was, man?
They look the same size to me.
Get the fuck out of here, Ness.
I thought Salka was
You
a little
supposed to
bit
be
bigger.
the voice of the people. This nigga came to Danny's shoulders.
I thought Salka looked a little bit bigger.
Yo, hey Ness, when you got, call me back. I want to know what the fuck you was smoking on. When you get a chance, call me back at this number. I'm coming up there for that shit. I'm driving all the way up there.
Man, I'm
you
just
gonna
messing
call
with
me
you
back,
guys,
Ness? I'm coming up there to get some of that shit. Cause that's some good shit you had. That nigga was little. I seen this shit. And then the nigga that had no business in there, he threw the same combination 3 times in a row and still caught the nigga with it. The second time he caught him on his chin, then he beat his chest, and then he threw the same fucking combination and knocked this motherfucker the fuck out. He ain't belong in there.
Nah, Danny's just that good.
I know you need
Danny's
an
just
easy
that good.
Well, yeah. What you say?
Danny's just that good.
Oh yeah, man. I wish he would try that shit, throw the same combination 3 times. The same combination, right to the body, left hook, right to the body, left hook, right to the body, left hook. This kid didn't have enough sense to get out the fucking way or come in and smother that left hand or control him or something like that. He ain't throw nothing out there. He just sit there and just ate it. But that's boxing, man. Everybody, I don't know why people mad, because they knew this was going to happen. We already said what we're going to say.
Hey, Wood, they called in Thursday saying this was going to happen. They mad on Sunday. It makes no sense.
Hey, man, look, I would just look, man. That's what keep arguing with these motherfuckers, man. These motherfuckers talk about something else, man. Shit, yo, the nigga that turned himself into a woman over in England, man. Talk about that shit. That's news. Hey, look, man, I'm a roll out, man. But look, man, don't have these niggas hollering at you, man. You don't have these niggas hollering at you, man. Just like y'all talk about something else, man. It's over with. It's done. He fought somebody. The guy didn't get hurt. Just hope the guy didn't get hurt. As long as the guy didn't get hurt, say fuck it, man. All right, man. I call back Thursday. Let's take care, man.
All right. I'll make sure to get an update for you guys on Salka. I'll reach out to him this week, and we'll talk a little bit, and we'll see how he's feeling, what he plans on doing next. Is he gonna stay at the weight division? He's gonna move down. But Nelka, man, I want to talk about.
Down. He can't take that fucking power.
I want to talk about Saddam Ali, man. I mean, Saddam Ali, he had a lot of hype. He was looking really good when he was busy with main events on NBC Sports Network. He was fighting on the Prudential Center. He had a bunch of cards on the Aviator Center. He was a free agent, building himself up, and he was able to negotiate a good deal with Golden Boy. But he had some troubles over here with Jeremy Bryan, man. Jeremy Bryan, tough kid from Patterson.
Sure did.
Say what?
He sure did, man. He was eating jabs like nobody's business, man. That motherfucker ain't got no defense for the jab. Anybody that just puts a jab on him can beat him. And he throws that stupid ass uppercut from way outside, thinking he's David Hay and shit. Motherfucker's gonna catch his ass with a left hook and sleep him. He needs to fix that shit.
He got caught with a left hook that kind of I wasn't sure if was he hurt, because he was so. If he was, he has great recovery time, guys, and that's something you have to look at. Remember when he first got hurt by that left hook from Bryan, he wobbled a little bit, but then Bryan tried to follow up with another straight left. I guess you could consider it a jab since he's an orthodox fighter and whatnot.
Bryan ain't got power though, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if Bryan got power. I'm not talking about the power. I'm talking about Saddam showing that maybe he wasn't hurt, and even if he was hurt, he's showing good recovery time because he was able to dip the next punch and really control the rest of that round.
Yeah. I mean, he did pretty good. But the thing is, there's so many holes in his game, man. I just can't see him. I can't see him.
And that's what I said when I first started talking about it. Maybe it's the inactivity. You know, I know he was just on another Golden Boy card, but I guess factor in the inactivity mixed with a little bit of bad opposition, and you get a rusty fighter.
I don't know, man. To be honest, he's kind of unimpressed me in his last couple of fights. Not even just this one. So I mean, I don't know if it's just the overall inactivity or what it is. Maybe he's too used to the amateurs where he's fighting every week or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, you said that Bryan doesn't have any power, but Bryan, he beat Danny Garcia in the amateurs, and he's a declarated amateur. He's got a couple of victories, you know.
Oh, that doesn't mean he has power in this. I mean, fucking Zhu Shiming has a bunch of gold medals and shit. He ain't knocking motherfuckers out either.
Oh, well, you know, I just had to throw that fun fact out there. They hate Danny so much.
Plenty of guys excel in the amateurs and don't do shit as pros. There's plenty of guys excel in the amateurs and have no fucking power. And they just manage to, do the CompuBox trick and have niggas pressing all kinds of buttons for them.
Did you catch the swing bout with Zachary Ochoa?
Oh, yeah, that was one of the fights of the night, man. That was some good shit. Those cards are wild as fuck, though, man. I thought Cervantes was coming on. I had that shit a draw. But, man, Cervantes was coming on, and Ochoa looked tight as fuck. At the end of that, he got lucky that the shit was only a 6 round. If it would have been 8, he would have been fucked over, man. Because, I mean, he started off well. But Cervantes' body work was breaking it down.
I didn't like that he had no answers for the overhand right. Because outside of the body work that Cervantes was doing, he was landing that overhand right continuously.
Yeah. Well, and seeing the body work set that up because he was going down up. He could go down up with his combos, and so the thing is, it'd be a thing where he would kind of lurch forward. Ochoa would drop his guard, almost kind of like Maidana did to Broner. He would drop his guard and then he'd crack him with the right. And Ochoa was trying to do a bit of a shoulder roll-esque stance, and he wasn't doing very well at it. And Cervantes took full advantage of it. But yeah, man, those cards are too fucking wide though. That was a close ass fight. That was a good fight too.
It sure was, man. Like I said, I was just a bit let down. I've been following Zachary for a while, and I didn't think he wouldn't make the adjustments. 845. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 845.
845 has been lightning rod socket.
Yes, he has. Let me see.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're on. 516.
All right.
You're live.
Yo, Ness, what up? KH, man. Kevin Horn from Long Beach.
Kevin Horn, what up?
Yo, the Showtime Extreme fights were official, though. Ochoa fight, the Ali fight, there was good action, but you're getting on Danny, like, I hear you using the excuse of, like, 6 or 8 tough fights in a row. Like, you a champion. Like, you supposed to have easy fights? Like, I don't get that justification. And since when is a fat, old, 5-6 years past his prime, Morales twice, 2 hard fights? Like, I don't know where you come up with 8 hard fights. Like, I don't know.
All right, I'll tell you. Allow me to rebuttal. In the first fight, you're going to say you picked Garcia?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, and I didn't pick anybody in that fight, to be honest. I really didn't know Garcia too well.
Okay, but let me finish rebuttaling, Kevin Horn, and that's just quite convenient that you
and I'm not
going to
lie, because now we'll tell you, Morales is one of my favorite fighters ever. But I didn't know anything about Garcia.
So Morales, so this is even this gets even better. So Morales is your favorite fighter. You choose not to pick. Then the kid beats your favorite fighter, and you give him no credit. I don't get that one.
Well, yeah, because I know Morales was done for about 3 years before that fight.
So much so. All right, allow me to rebuttal. Allow me to rebuttal. Allow me to rebuttal. Hold on, Nelta. I got this, baby. I'm telling you, nobody needs to help me with Danny Garcia. My guns come fully fucking loaded. So allow me to rebuttal. Morales was so past his prime that he just had a Fight of the Year candidate with Marcos Maidana, where his eye swelled up, or you forgot that?
I remember that fight.
Oh, okay. I know that boxing fans don't have the memory that I do. It's okay, but I remember everything. And you can't say that Morales was diminished.
And you know, that's not the best Maidana that there's been. Yeah, but I remember that fight.
It wouldn't matter if it was the best Maidana. It matters only how the fight looked.
Yeah. And it looked like a fat, slow, sloppy Morales who, if you would have fought him 3-4 years ago, would have destroyed him.
I guess others could say he gave Maidana all he could handle. Made so much so that after what, the first round he had one eye to look out of, and Maidana was barely able to squeak away with a win, and you're calling that Morales washed up when Danny fought him. Okay. And then it's also Danny's fault that Morales, the legend that he is, that when he first fought Garcia, he made $100,000 and Danny only made what? 125 plus the 50 for Morales coming in overweight. So the second time that he fought him, the legend has a rematch clause, and it's Danny's fault.
No. I'm not saying it's Danny's fault for taking that fight. That's a contractually obligated fight. I'm just saying you can't say he had 8 tough fights when, especially that rematch, was nowhere near a tough fight.
Why not?
I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault for taking it. Why not? Yo, your boy, did you see how Morales looked? And then he gets clean clocked in like the what 4th round or something?
I believe. You see, your mind. You have selective. My boy Beeb tells me this all the time, but he says I have selective listening. You have selective memory. That was the best.
There's two
let
things.
me finish,
selective
Kevin
memory,
Horn.
there's confirmation bias.
Let me finish, Kevin Horn, so you can get my point.
I'm not going to cut you off. You could go.
Let me finish, so you can get my point.
You
have
got
selective hearing because, well, not hearing, but remembering because Danny Garcia fought the best version of Morales that time. Remember that Morales was on clenbuterol. Am I pronouncing it right, Nelta? Am I pronouncing it right, Nelta? Because that was the fight that Morales tested positive like 3 times. So he was damn ready. So much so that he felt like cheating.
Ness, if you did a poll, he was on that shit. How many people were choosing Morales to win that fight?
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And Kevin Horn.
It's not a tough fight if not one guy's predicting Morales to win before the fight.
I don't know if everybody had it for Danny, but I'll tell you this. When you face a guy that you're supposed to beat, you spin him like a top the way Danny did Morales.
Well, he did exactly what he was supposed to do with him. But that's not, to me, that's not a tough fight. That's not lining up tough fight after tough fight.
Well, if it's a tough fight, listen.
A washed-up guy.
Was really tough. I thought that first Garcia Morales was really tough. I thought Morales was really giving Garcia a hell of a time until Garcia finally knocked him down. Those scorecards were way too wide, in my opinion.
Now, mind you, Nelta, right, that the first fight was a tough fight, and the second fight is only in conjunction with the first one because of a contract clause. So they're both the level of a tough fight, dude. He's still fighting the same dude.
Well, that's a good point. The contract thing, man. I mean, that kind of saves Danny from any.
Exactly, the contract, baby. Listen, I'm like Johnny Cochran, man. I'm like Johnny Cochran, KH.
Took the fight. I have no problem with him taking the fight, but I'm not going to consider that a tough fight. I consider that like a night off, pretty much.
A night off. Yeah, Maidana ain't get a night off.
That's a soft touch.
Maidana didn't get a night off. Cesar Pablo Cano ain't get a night off. Pacquiao ain't get a night off. Get out of here with that.
Pacquiao didn't get a night off. Pacquiao dropped him and left him on his ass, and I thought that was when Morales' career was over.
He beat Pacquiao first.
I'm not getting up off the floor. I'm done.
KH, you got selective
you're
memory.
You're talking about Morales before Danny Garcia, what, 4 years after the
Yo,
guy who
you got selective memory. You got selective memory. You want to forget that he beat Pacquiao first.
Yeah, like 5 years before he fought fucking...
You say
Garcia.
Tomato, I
you know
say
what I mean?
tomato, tomato.
Right now I can't say it before. What's the difference?
Hey, brother, all I'm saying is, so listen, you want to discredit the record, why don't you compare it? Name another fighter that has done what he's done.
You could say Carl Frost for a tougher fight. You could say Andre Ward for a tougher fight. You could say, you know what I mean? Like, there's other guys.
I'll give you both Froch and Ward have similar records, which doesn't hurt or belittle Danny at all, because Froch also had the Yusuf Mack fight as a timeout, and Ward had the Edwin Rodriguez fight, and Ward had the Edwin Rodriguez fight as a timeout.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't justify.
And let me not forget. Ward also had the Sakio Bika fight as a timeout. But as a hardcore, I respect Sakio Bika.
Are you comparing Salka to Sakio Bika?
No,
Sakio Bika's competitive with everybody. He's still beating guys.
I'm not comparing him. I'm not comparing him. You heard me.
Bika's a champion.
Listen, you didn't hear me. I said he had Sakio Bika, but as a hardcore, I respect Sakio Bika as a good opponent. You just jumped the gun.
Hardcore about you gotta put Bika at a higher level than Salka. Fuck that
but
hardcore shit. Bika's always at a higher level than Salka, regardless of who you are.
But I'm not putting Rod Salka above or on the level of Sakio Bika. I never did that.
Then why mention him?
Because it was a soft fight for Ward at the time, remember? So much so that he was advised, because you guys got selective memory, so much so that he was advised not to take the fight, but he decided to stay busy while still contractually obligated.
He was advised not to take the fight because Bika's a tough guy with no recognition. Nobody would advise Garcia not to take the fight because they were worried Garcia might get beat up by Salka.
If you keep interrupting, I'll never make the point. The point that I'm trying to make.
You got the best 140-pound fighter in the world fighting a fucking midget who's beating nobody at fucking 142, and that's indefensible. I don't care how many tough fights you've had before or how many tough fights you plan on having after. And let's not forget, one of those tough fights is fucking Zab Judah, who beat nobody. What's his best win? Like,
Corey Spinks
12 years ago? Like, when has Zab Judah beat anybody? Vernon Paris? Like, come on, man. That's his tough fight. Morales twice. And he's got Morales.
But don't
twice.
act. Wait a minute. You see, Kevin Horn.
This resume ain't ironclad.
Kevin Horn. This is the problem.
He has Matisse. He has Khan. He has good fights. But this guy's stuff ain't ironclad. He got a Matisse win, a Khan win. Herrera,
it is ironclad,
and he beat Zab Judah. Like, come on.
It is ironclad because Zab Judah is credible in the sense that if you don't got the goods, you don't beat him, right?
Well, who has? I mean, who has he beaten? I don't know. If you don't got the goods,
better yet, who's beating him? Better yet, who's beating him? I think Danny's in a good category if you beat the guy that Floyd Mayweather beat, that Lucas Matisse beat, that, I don't know, Devin Alexander. No, Devin Alexander didn't beat him, but, good names beat Zab, not bullshit names. Only Baldomir is the luckiest name on his resume. They got to win over him. Other than that, everybody that's beat Zab has been good.
Yeah, definitely. He's not losing a straight bum.
So how is that not a tough fight? I don't get that.
But it's not. To me, it's like, all right, I fought Zab Judah. Now I can get a night off and get Salka. Like, I don't care. I don't care who you fought.
Yeah, you don't care. You
after.
know why? You know why? Because I'm going to just go out on a limb here and assume you used to be a Lucas Matisse fan, but you were okay with him fighting Humberto Soto, Mike Dallas Jr., a Josie, and then forcing a Danny Garcia fight when he ain't do shit, when at least Danny was fighting names that you knew. He wasn't fighting an African dude that only fought in the UK. He wasn't fighting an older. Listen, Humberto Soto has always been less than Eric Morales, and that's a no frills path mark version of fucking Eric Morales is Humberto Soto. But everybody rides with Lucas Matisse because he's beating guys like John fucking Lena. Please,
Mike Dallas.
Please,
Mike Dallas. I was never a Matisse fan. In fact, I was a Garcia fan until these Herrera and Salka interviews. I was on the Garcia bandwagon until these interviews. And now I have no respect.
Well, then that
for him.
just
I would
only
never
makes
watch
you
him
a
or pay to
fickle
support him ever
boxing
again.
fan. That only makes you a fickle boxing fan if your guy can't take the fucking night off and all of a sudden you're not a fan anymore.
No,
You
I'm
got
not
me
a fan
sweating.
because
I'll be honest.
and how
If
he,
you look
how
at me
he talks.
on YouTube,
how
I'm
he
sweating
belittles
here,
his fans,
defending
how
my
he
boy.
belittled his fans and said fans don't know anything about boxing. I don't have to worry about those guys. I can fight whoever I want. I'm still getting paid. Al Heyman does this. Come on, man. You can't come out here and talk like that. My fans love me. Come on, you're getting shitted on all over Instagram. You're getting shitted on all over Twitter.
Listen, speaking of Instagram, Kevin Horn, last night when he knocked him out, check my fucking video. The world loved him again. And guess what? The numbers for the attendance weren't that bad, even though I don't got the official ones. But from the eye test,
he had 7,000 people up there.
Oh my God! The boy's a star. The boy's a star. Let's get some music going.
Hopping out that foreign car with a couple foreign bras. Hopping out that foreign car with a couple foreign bras.
You be cool, man. You
7,000? Kevin Horn, thanks for calling in. Now the 7,000? That was the official fucking attendance? Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Now they know. Be careful. Be careful. You might get something worse than Rod Salka. Now, if he's going to fucking sell out 7,000, Triple G did fucking almost the same amount in Madison Square Garden. Huh? And you guys want to talk shit? You should have never told me that fucking statistical number. What's the matter with y'all?
Ness, come on, dog. You know numbers and what you actually do is two different things, man. Come on now. I mean,
Nelta. No. This is a direct indication that it doesn't matter. They still love him. 7,000 is a big number. It's a big number. Remember, the Barclays Center has only seen high 13,000s. That's all they've seen. So 7 is good. 7 is good. Come on, that's good.
Well, I mean, who do you want to see him fight next, though, Ness?
I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight only because he earned it, and I think he's ducking him.
He wants a title shot at the beat. He's not even ranked, and he wants a title shot at the beat.
You know, I'm not telling people to be happy about what they saw last night, but the thing is this. Let's just wait and see what the next move is, because I highly doubt he's going to continue to fight Rod Salka's fight after fight after fight. I mean, I'm not defending the card by no means, but this isn't the end of the road. I mean, this isn't going to be a habit. At least I don't believe it is. I don't think it is. I mean, they felt the backlash. They know people weren't happy. They got their little fight in. Other fighters have done it. I'm not justifying it, but let's wait and see what he does next. Everyone's acting like this is going to be the norm for him moving forward, which I don't believe it's going to be. This was kind of a breather for him. They gave him a break. This was like one of like a soft touch on the schedule. And let's move forward. Let's see what he does next. If he fights another person who's not a viable opponent, then we can really start jumping on him. But let's just wait. Let's give this guy, I'm not saying give him a break. I mean, obviously you can be a dissenter if you want, because I was a dissenter. I wasn't happy with the card yesterday either. But I'm not going to sit there and just disregard the previous work that he's done. It's not like this. He's been fighting Rod Salka his whole career, and people are acting like that's the case. Whether you thought he lost to Herrera or not, it was a close fight. I had to fight a draw. I thought it was a real tight fight. If you thought Herrera won, I'm not going to argue with you, but I don't think it was a robbery by no means. Just my opinion.
And there you go. Let's get to some other callers. What happened out there?
No, I was going to say, if you want to look at the bright side, at least this proves that the power against Amir Khan wasn't a lucky punch like a lot of the Khan's army like to talk about, and they've been harping off for several years now, and yet Amir doesn't ever rematch any of the guys that beat him. But, I mean, still, for Garcia to call this shit the purge, what the fuck was he purging? He was like purging the demons from Herrera by knocking out Salka?
No, you see, I can't understand that people don't get the metaphor. Remember, the purge is a group, especially Anarchy, and even the first one anyway, it's still a group of people taking advantage of people that are less than them in that sense. They're not aggressive. They're not clearly not murderers, and they're never prepared. So Danny, that's the metaphor. That's the metaphor. No matter who's in the ring, I'm more prepared. I want it more. I'm coming to kill.
Well,
I got my killer instinct back.
If he did that and he fought like 4 Salkas in a row, like within a span of like 3 months or something, I could see that. But he fought one guy on, out of the
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Stop hating on the kid. Now they even hate on the words coming out his mouth.
It's a bad metaphor, because in the Purge, didn't they kill more than one person?
Hey, let me get my soundbite for this guy. I can't take the hate. Where's my soundbite? Where's my soundbite, dude? You're just like the biggest hater today. I'm not
a hater. I was defending Danny a few minutes ago.
I don't know.
I'm being real, son. That's what I'm being. Shit.
I don't know about being real. I don't know about being real.
If you want to talk, you want to talk all this shit about numbers, Ness, and yet you want to talk shit about the 105 pounders, man. They packed that motherfucking arena. That's a 17,000 seat arena that they were in. Rodriguez and Takayama, baby. Francisco Rodriguez Jr. Better than Canelo. Better than Mares. Unified 105 champ, baby. Efron the God. That's what it is.
I guess.
Took out Takayama in a Fight of the Year candidate, and he did the damn thing. That's what
I was watching Danny Garcia. I'm sorry.
Well, that came on afterwards.
I was watching that. That had my attention. 713. What's going on, brother? Talk to us. 713, you're live. 713. 609, you're live.
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear, brother.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, man, I heard you guys talking about Rod Salka. I don't know why people were so upset about it. I don't get it. I think it was a good fight.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's a couple of things. I mean, obviously, I love the point about Garcia finally getting, an easier fight. I like that idea. But I also like the fact that, Rod Salka's a guy who a lot of his career has been him actually putting things together. And, he had a big upset in his last fight with Corrado, which I think was pretty awesome, especially for him. And even though this fight wasn't the best circumstances for himself, I mean, he finally got paid, and he did it pretty much by himself to get to that point. And I think that, boxing fans are kind of missing that point that, a lot of us talk about Golden Boy and everything like that, but this is a guy who literally, he promoted himself, he got his fights, and he got basically a big fight. He finally got a decent payday. And even though it came at a knockout from Danny Garcia, it's still good for boxing on both sides. One, we get to see Garcia, actually do some really good work after people have been doubting him. We got to see Garcia and Peterson on the same card, which makes that a possible fight in the future. And we also gave a chance to a guy who basically did it himself, and now he might be able to make more money in his career if he can have a nice comeback fight after that. And I think people are missing those good things anyway.
And I agree with you, and I said that in the beginning of this build-up for this fight that, this is Salka's Rocky moment. We shouldn't, and it's unfair that he didn't have an opportunity to win the titles, which now doesn't make any, is here nor there now that he got knocked out. But it would have been awesome had he been able to win them titles. And it's a guy that, like you said, that normally wouldn't get a shot. He got a really bad decision in the Ricardo Alvarez fight where he should have been fighting Omar Figueroa had he won the fight the way that he did win the fight, but the judges didn't give it to him. But everybody had him win it. Yeah. And he got his opportunity. 609, man, thanks for calling in and giving your point, shedding a little light on this story, because clearly it's us against the haters.
Ness, did anyone bring this up? This is probably just really, it's kind of like a little tidbit. I don't know how pertinent it is to anyone, but I'm looking at the picture right now of the knockout punch, and it's the identical punch that he landed against Khan and Morales. And if you look at this picture, he landed with his left hand, but he's not looking at him. So, this is kind of like an old trainer used to tell me, turn your head along with your arm so you can get more leverage and really turn your whole body into it, and then just turn your head right back. So I just think this is the way he throws that punch once he sees and zeroes in on it, because he's not even looking at Salka at the point of impact. His eyes are looking the other way. Obviously, he's going to turn right back and face him, but I just think this is the way he throws that punch. I think he times it and he lines it up, and he's very effective at landing it and being accurate with it. Well, yeah, I don't think that Khan punch was a lucky punch, because this pitcher tells 1,000 stories. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Nolta.
No, I was going to say he's turning his head because he knows that there's going to be return fire on the inside. So if the opponent hits him,
that too,
take something off.
That too, so he can slip, so he can, be out of the line of fire. He's off to the side, whereas his head is not straight, so he'll elude a counter right hand or something. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, most fighters do that. When they see the punch coming, I think he just kind of does it reflexively when he's throwing the punch for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe he got.
Well, I think it does help with leverage too when you turn like that, because it teaches you to really twist your upper torso into the punch too. Yeah, that's what a trainer.
That's true. I mean,
that's what a trainer told me once.
He only look at like Provodnikov to see that.
Yeah, he told me when you throw that punch, you need to turn your head the other way, almost like swinging a bat. When you swing a bat, you turn your head. You don't just turn your body; you turn your whole head and you look the other way. Now in boxing, obviously, you got to snap it right back quick enough so you can see the return fire. But a lot of trainers will tell you to throw the punch that way. Not everyone does it though. So I think this just dispels the lucky punch theory.
Well, Triple G is going to be back. They're looking about October or November. HBO's holding a date for Golovkin. He's headed to the West. He's going to be fighting in the West Coast. They want to open up that market and expand on the fact that he's been training in Big Bear and, just build some sort of fan base with the West Coast fans. October, November. So what do you guys think about this? Who do you guys think he's probably going to fight?
Well, I mean, I said it before. I think he should fight Marco Rubio, man. Rubio come forward, make it a fight, and that'll make a good fight. It's not, of course, it's not like an elite name or anything, but he's a tough, strong fighter. He fought Chavez Jr. Got the whole comparison thing there, and he's been on a winning streak too. So
now this seems to be a guy that people love to watch him so much that they don't care who he fights. Now, I'm not hating on him, but I want to see him fight someone, credible. And I know it's not his fault. I know there's a lot. That's why I clamor so much for him to go up to 168. If you can't get no one in this division, then go up to 168. I just hope that, he gets a fight with possibly a Cotto, you know what I'm saying, or a Peter Quillen, or some, the Danny Jacobs. I'm sure he'd win all those fights, but it's just still better opposition than when he's facing right now. Not taking anything away from Daniel Gale. I was extremely impressed with that fight. I didn't think it was going to be a blowout like that. So I would say on paper that looks to be his toughest fight to date. And the way he handled it was extraordinary in my opinion. But, other than that, there's just not a lot of names. And I don't know the whole situation. That's why I just want to see him fight a Chavez Jr. or even a Kyle Frosch or an Andre Ward, because these guys, Danny Jacobs admittedly said he's not ready for him. Peter Quillen basically kind of alluded to the same thing, that he's not ready for him. Like, they're all playing in the waiting game. I need 2 or 3 more fights. It's just extraordinary the stance that these young guys are taking. I mean, they're not even young anymore. They're close to, they're all 0-winning on 30. So they're entering their prime, and that window they have before the door closes is very small. So at some point they got to step up and get that challenge in before they're out of their prime, or they won't be able to deal with the challenge effectively. So it's just sad. Just sad listening to Danny Jacobs talk last night. They asked him about Golovkin, and he's been interviewed all week. Oh, well, I need 2 or 3 more fights. So
240, you're live on the Boxing Voice. 240. Who's this? 240.
Yo, what's up, Ness? This is the Gringo.
Gringo.
Yo, hey, man, I know he's your boy and everything, and I can't help it. I don't like the dude. The problem I have is, right, I would give him a pass if he fought more than 2 times in 1 year for taking a fight like this.
He's going to fight.
What you're saying
he's
about,
going to fight again.
Him fighting Eric Morales. Yeah, go ahead.
No. So that's it. Case closed. He's gonna fight again before the year's out. So you got to give him a pass.
Well, we'll give him a pass for this one. I will say I'll give him a pass. But I want to see him fight Matisse again on a rematch because in my eyes, I heard your interview, and this is something that bothered me kind of sort of, but really not. But it did in a way. But there is no way in the world Danny Garcia destroyed Lucas Matisse when they fought. There was no way in the world he destroyed him. And I don't understand why you put it that way when you asked him the question. So I wonder, can you clarify that for me a little bit?
Because in my opinion, he broke the machine.
Well, I mean, up until the point to where Matisse's eyes closed, would you say Matisse was taking control of the fight?
I don't even have to answer that because Danny. Listen, I don't have to answer that. I don't have to answer that because Danny did that to his eye, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that was a great fight. I've sit there and watched the video 1,000 times.
That fight was tight up until that point. It was very competitive, and I think Danny, even before Danny swelled his eye up, Danny was starting to, turn the fight even before then.
I'm going to take the opposite way because I think Matisse was starting to come on up until that eye swelled. That's when his momentum stopped. Is when his eyes swelled. I don't think
so.
And everything came down to the 11th round.
Before that, though, the round before that, Danny landed a couple of nice 1-2s and started freezing Matisse in his tracks. I will say one thing, though. In the 11th round, Matisse had a good round. He came back in that one round.
In that round right there, that round in that fight, that was the turnaround. That was Danny Garcia's praying round right there. Because if you remember, Danny had a point taken away, right? So, blah, 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 they go into it. Somehow Lucas gets twisted into the ropes, goes underneath the top rope, is trying to get back from underneath there. Danny three-pieces him, so Lucas trying to get back from under the rope. The fucking ref done jump in there and says, hey, let the man get underneath, had to take a fucking knee. So that right there took away that 1 point. That would have made that fight a draw.
Whoa, stop.
The scorecards would have been a draw.
No, you're reaching. He didn't take a knee.
I scored the fight 114 and 112, so I still would have had Danny winning.
Right, he didn't take a knee.
If that round stayed at the 10-8 like it should have been, that your scorecard would have then been a draw.
Are you saying that the knockdown wasn't legit?
It wouldn't have been.
If Lucas did not get stuck in the ropes in that round and had to take the knee to give Danny a credit for a knockdown, instead of taking the 9-8 round for the 9-8 round to Danny, it would have been 10-8 round for Lucas.
I can't believe you're questioning that knockdown.
Oh my God, Ness, are you serious? The dude was stuck in the ropes. It ain't like he got stuck.
Who put him there?
Who put him there? Wait a minute. Who backed him up and landed the punches to put him in that position where he was caught?
Actually, there was no punches, James.
He didn't run into the ropes.
There was no punches there that put him into the ropes. Actually, there was no punches that put him into the ropes. It was
he ran to the ropes.
Lucas missed a punch and he got himself stuck in the ropes. Lucas missed the punch himself and he put himself in the ropes. He put himself in the ropes. Danny didn't do that to him.
He put himself in the ropes.
All right, so why don't you give the man a chance to get from underneath the ropes and fight like a man instead of being a little bitch and fucking try to knock his ass out in the ropes?
I've never seen a fighter say,
hey, what about sportsmanship? What about sportsmanship?
I've never seen a fighter say he was going to hang himself up in the ropes. What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean? Why would you let the man get from underneath the rope and try to take your fucking couple lucky shots?
It's a fight. You don't let up in a fight. Why are you going to use
look, we're not talking about a street fight, Beeb. We're not talking about a street fight. Let me speak. We're not talking about a street fight here. This ain't like me versus you or my gang versus your gang. This is a professional boxing match. There's sportsmanship involved here. This is the best versus the best.
There's sportsmanship involved. This is war.
Yeah. I mean, for Christ's sakes, where the referee at least let the man get him out from underneath the ropes.
All right.
That was not.
All right. I got to gain control of the situation. It's not sounding good. Please let each other speak.
I'm just saying that one right there turned that fight into what would have been scored a draw into a victory for Danny. So, in my opinion, I think Danny should give the man a rematch.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, hold on, Gringo.
Okay.
Beeb, rebuttal.
All I'm going to say is this. Whether he can hold that stance, that's fine. But to think that Danny didn't back him up and put the pressure on him at that particular point to force him to get tangled in the ropes, I can't ride with that argument. Danny put him in that position. I've seen guys, Corte, for instance, threw a punch when he fought De La Hoya, and his arm got tangled in the ropes, right? De La Hoya punched him and knocked him down. He didn't wait and say, hey, let me let your, because that's the heat of the moment, that's the battle. He didn't say, okay, his arm got tangled in the ropes, so I'm not going to punch him. Because De La Hoya backed him up against the ropes and put pressure on him and forced him to tangle himself in the ropes. A fighter doesn't go back to the ropes and say, I'm going to tie myself up in the ropes.
Hey, B,
that's all I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
That's all I'm
But
saying.
in no way in that fight, and not in one point in that fight, did Danny back Lucas up. Not once. It was Lucas backing Danny up the whole fight.
I disagree.
You must have been watching a totally different fight, because every time Lucas got close, Danny was clinching, hitting him in the nuts and everything else.
But
every time Lucas got close.
But listen, the 11th round, okay, Matisse's eye was closed. And he was having a hard time. Wait, let me finish. He was having a hard time seeing punches, okay? In that particular round, at that particular time, he did back him up because he couldn't see the punches coming. If you can't defend yourself, there's either two things you can do. You can grab or you can back off and run away. Not run away, but, it's just you retreat and you try to reset. At that particular time, he was really having a hard time seeing the punches coming, and he had no choice but to back up at that particular time.
And go beneath the ropes, B, but we've never seen Lucas Matisse ever go underneath the rope to avoid pressure from anybody, and that just don't make no sense.
But how did he get tangled in the ropes?
Easily, because Danny and him was in a clinch, and Danny spun his ass around, and his head went right underneath the rope. That's exactly how it went. His head went underneath the rope when he got pushed off by Garcia.
You think Danny threw him underneath the rope? You don't think Danny?
Yeah, I do. I saw the clinch and the way it went, because I just watched the fight today.
Okay, Gringo.
I'm going to have to disagree with that, but I respect your opinion.
Enough of that. We're going to go ahead and move on. 650, you're live. Who's this?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
You guys probably already covered this, but I took a big drink of the Kool-Aid this afternoon, and I bought tickets to the Vera Rosado fight in Vegas next week, this new type of boxing. And I really don't know how to feel about it. The tickets were cheap. I really like the idea of the elevated stands up looking down into the ring. If anybody's ever been at a fight and we're in a balcony looking down into the ring, it's a much better view. I did like that. Boxing is barbaric enough, but this almost seems to be kind of dogfightish. But nevertheless, I'm going to go. I'm going to check it out. What are your thoughts? And as far as Triple G, I hope he does fight Andre Ward, and I know he'll beat him. Andre Ward's done. His career's over. He's nothing. He's done. Anyway, what do you think?
Whose career is done?
Andre Ward. He's done.
Andre Ward?
Andre Ward is done.
Why?
Why? Well, the last time he fought Edwin Rodriguez, who's a nobody. And that was almost a year ago. He's getting older. He's a good boxer that never had much experience anyway. I think for him to get back to that level where he was at, it just ain't going to happen. I think if he does, I think he's going to be forced to fight some decent competition. And that competition has been fighting, better competition, and I think he'll be beat. And That's my opinion, but that's what I think.
Well, all right,
Well,
brother.
I have to say one thing.
Callers
I have
here.
to say one thing before. Let me just say one thing. I was kind of thinking the same thing, like, because Andre Woods, he's been through some injuries with his knee, his shoulder. He's been inactive for so long. I can't see anything good coming out of his situation right now. I'm not saying that he's done, but I'm not so sure how effective he's going to be when he comes back. Is there going to be, a decline a little bit? Because he's just been having these long layoffs. I don't see anything good coming. I don't think he's going to come back better. You know what I mean? So that's a good point the caller brings up. It's not good for your career to be, at this stage when you're getting older, to take these long layoffs. Go ahead. Just wanted to chime in with that.
Let me see. 602, you're live on the Boxer Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's going on, This is Brandon from Phoenix. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Brandon?
Yo, man. I don't get why people always hate on Andre Ward for whatever reason it is. And it's like, I understand the dude's been inactive, he's got his managerial problems, but it's like, man, give the man some credit. He's like the only fighter out there that truly cleaned out his division, in the past, 10 years. But people always hate on him. They say he's boring. They say he's this. They say he's that. It's like, if you don't like the man, you don't like him. But, you know what I mean? Give the man his props. And then, I'm not even really going to talk about the card that happened this weekend because none of that shit's really worth mentioning. But, and the other thing is, like, why is the gringo hating on Danny? Like, Danny beat Batista's ass. I don't get it, man. It's like, they were like, Batista would have won, except for the fact that Danny punched him in his face and his eye blew up. Like, well, that's boxing. That's what happened. I don't get it, man. You tell me.
Hey, man, I go through it every show, brother. There's always going to be
the problem
excuses.
I don't get it. It's like, if Batista wants to rematch, that's cool. It was a competitive fight. But Danny clearly won. And it's like people are calling for this rematch like it was an issue or something like that. I mean, if we're talking about the Herrera fight, that's a different case. You know what I'm saying? But the Batista fight wasn't no close, Danny edged him out or something like that. Like, Danny beat him. It happened. Get over it. He's not the machine. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. But, what do you guys think? Well, I know next week you guys going to get into the Brook Porter fight. I don't really know how much Brook really has. I've watched a couple of his fights on some shitty YouTube quality videos, and he looks all right. But everybody that talks about Porter's training, man, says the dude looks like a beast right now.
Yeah, we had our guy in Vegas out there, and he said the same thing. He's actually so convinced he's picking first round knockout of Brook.
That's what Montoya said the other day when I was listening to him on the radio, man. He said that, he's doing all kinds of shit. It's like he's on some Ivan Drago shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, he gets high quality sparring. Like, he spars with James Kirkland and Demetrius Andrade. He spars with big names, dude. And he sparred with Bradley numerous times, Pacquiao numerous times. They never get just like regular prospects. They're working with big names. They're always working on things. And if you talk to Ken Porter, they don't ever stop training. They're staying in shape all year round. They're within 8 to 10 pounds of their weight.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds, I've listened to the Ken Porter interviews on, when you guys talk to him and on other things. And, I believe him, man, and it showed off the last time they were in the ring. We'll see it this time. I watched the Porter-Devin Alexander fight a couple nights ago, just looking at him. And I think Porter's still a little susceptible maybe to when he gets inside of, when he gets in exchanges, he still kind of goes in with his head a little open. But, the last fight, he seems like he's really getting better every time we see him. He's such a strong dude, and even though he's a little short, he still has pretty long arms. So I think, I think he's probably going to give Brook the business, man, but we'll see. And then real quick, man, I got a suggestion for you. On the last show, man, y'all were talking about the B-Hop's legacy versus Mayweather's legacy. I think you should probably do one of them, quick shows on the whole thing like you did about for Sergio Martinez's Hall of Fame thing, so all the callers can get their arguments together and we can have a real good discussion about it, man. Because I think it's a good argument to be had.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of doing that. We got an email from young fella. He sent the big email. So, young fella, this is your shout out. We got it. We're working on it. We're actually looking for the best day. But he sent in so much factual information here and broke down why he feels Mayweather edges it out, but gives both men credit. He goes through their entire resume. So shout out to you for all your homework and research. We might do that. The thing is, a lot of guys don't like Hopkins, so I don't know how many people are actually interested in it. I don't want to do a show that only a couple hundred people want to listen to. I want to do something that we all enjoy. I don't mind that topic. I think it's an interesting one. I think that it should be something that we should schedule so that you guys know full in advance when that show's taking place, so that everyone who wants to debate the sides of both men's career can do so. But, Brandon, let me get to some other people here, man. We're going to probably wrap it up around the 9:30 hour. 540. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
What's up, Ness? This is Dakota from VA.
What's going on, Dakota?
Ain't too much, man. Hey, Danny looked sharp last night. Even though his opposition wasn't shit, he still looked like he did what he had to do in training camp. He looked a lot sharper than he did, even the Zab Judah fight. When Zab could have got him out of there if he put the work in earlier than later. But all the hate, I don't understand it. I still want to see him unify the division with Lamont. I think that'll be a good fight in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I would love that fight, but I think it'll happen in the Barclay. Barkley would probably just.
But I think Atlantic City, neutral ground.
So is New York. Danny's from Philly.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't understand what the other caller that was eating food and talking about Ward being washed up. What is he drinking? That's crazy. Ward cleaned the division out. I mean, it's not his fault that, with the situation with the promotion shit that he can't get a fight. But, I mean, you put him in the ring with Triple G, he going to walk right through him. There's flaws in Triple G's game that, he just ain't been tested to see that, hey, shit, I'm fucking up here. Everybody that he get in the ring with, he got like that Tyson syndrome. They intimidated before they get in the ring. They already see his power, other than with the exception of Curtis Stevens, who lasted a little longer than the other fighters. So, I mean, that's crazy, saying that Ward washed up because of inactivity. Yeah, he may have a little rust, but we don't know if he's still training or not.
Yeah, make a good point. Well, he is training anyway. There's footage on that. He's training. He was I think Angulo said he sparred with Ward too. Right.
But yeah, that was all I had. Oh yeah, don't forget I just got online. I didn't know if you made the announcement about the $1.50 to get the signed Mayweather gloves.
Oh yeah, man. I've been slacking on that. I'm actually also gonna give you guys the official press kit because it's a really good looking one. So if you don't want it, I'll put it up in my office because I got a bunch of boxing stuff here. But yeah, we got the Mayweather glove. Right. You already know. You should know by now. You just head on over to the new boxingvoice.com. That looks so sleek, works so well. The mobile version is phenomenal. The website is phenomenal. Listen, I would just go out on the limb and say thank you to everyone that visits the site. And thank you for sticking with us because we noticed the difference. Like, we can track how many people come to the site, and it's almost quadrupled since we've done the site over. So thank you so much because, again, I can't express this enough, but when I go to these events, man, I'm feeling the difference. They're treating me different. I'm having better access, and that's all a giant thank you to you guys because without you guys, I'm nothing. You gave me my start, and your constant support is what pushes me forward. Espinoza did duck me yesterday. It is true. I waited. He was there with talking to Paul Spadafora, and I waited. And when he was done, I tried to ask him, and he was like, "Nah, I got to do something with Paul right now," and he dipped off. But hey, I got Jada Kiss. You know what I'm saying? You guys gave me the power to make it to the back, and I got Jada. So one hand washes the other, I guess. You got to get what you can get. But 540, what else you got for us?
It's a good workout, bro.
I didn't hear you, brother. What happened?
I said keep up the good workout. Because I use the app. The app is that will keep me in line with everything. The app.
Oh, you like the app?
Thank you.
Oh, I love it. I hope y'all still working on the app so we can do our own cards. So we can do our own cards for each fight.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you brought that up.
15 G's, buddy.
I'm so happy you brought that up.
to get that
Listen,
set up.
me and
What?
B.
Wow.
A540. I'm gonna get on to some other callers, but I am gonna answer that. For everybody who wants the app to have a scorecard, we tried. We contacted about 6 different application developers, and the prices range from $15,000 to $25,000. So, you know, we can't afford that.
All I can do is design what I gave you. That's my scope of a skill. I can't go beyond that. I've tapped into all my resources, and that's what I came up with. So anything like that, I had to reach out to people, and it was pricey, man. Like I said, one guy wanted to charge us $50,000 to do it. Remember that?
Yeah. Somebody sent us an estimate. They sent us an estimate of $50,000. I had no clue that a mobile app was that much, but use the Box Nation app. I don't know if it's free anymore or not, but the cool thing about it, you don't even have to write the names of the big fights. Like, you just go to Score Fights, and they're already done. It's a good app. It's always been smooth. It's never given me problems. I've been using it for 3 years now. So back when it used to be called Box Scorecard and then Box Nation.
Well, on Android, it's still called Box Scorecard, and I use that app all the time, and that's a phenomenal app too. So, I mean, there's a ton of them out there. So, I mean, it's not going to be hard to find something to score your fights on.
All right, we're going to switch over. I'm sorry, babe. I thought you were done.
No, I was going to say, at least you can come to the app, get the news, get the videos, and listen to the shows anytime you want. And there's also other stuff on there too. Like, we added a page on there with the boxing odds. So a lot of times you guys go, "Pete, what's the odds for that fight? What's the odds for this fight?" We added that onto the site, so you can basically check all the odds for your fights that you want. Go ahead, Ness, I'm sorry.
We're going to switch over to drive-by mode, but I do want to tell you guys that Antonio Tarver, both his sons are going to be will be fighting. Antonio Tarver will be returning to the ring on after a 10-month layoff. He's going to be facing Jonathan Banks, who will end a 15-month layoff. We last seen Banks losing to Mitchell, so that's an interesting fight. See what those guys got left, and we know that Cometa and Hernandez seem like they're going to be fighting as well, but that's got purse bids and all type of things written in it. Minimum bids at 100, so we'll see what happens. Leon Margolis is in charge of that. So this is drive-by mode, fellas, starting with 443. You're live. Who's this?
Yo, Master Slug, man. What's up, dude?
What up? What up?
What's going on? Hey, I ain't get to watch all the fights last night, man. Only one I got to watch was that Lamont Peterson and that Santana fight. But Peterson, you know, I thought he had more power than that, man, because he was knocking that dude around pretty good around the goddamn ring.
Well, what has to be said is that Santana had Angel Heredia in his corner, so he was definitely trained to last, and he showed that. He never looked tired. He just always looked like he had his hands in his pocket. He really didn't throw much punches.
Yeah.
Slug, we are on drive-by mode, so make it quick and sweet.
Yeah, but he came out looking out okay those first couple rounds, though, and I guess some body shots started getting to him, and he kind of folded, and Lamont Peterson just kept pounding on him. But hey, Ness, real quick, what do you think? What do you think about this, real quick? Lamont Peterson against Zeb Judah in the Barclays Center.
Only if Broner versus Garcia's headlining.
Yeah, you know what? That'll bring some. That'd be a big money fight. You ask me, man. They might not be the two biggest names out there, or even up there, you know. But I think that'd be a real interesting fight with Lamont Peterson and Zeb Judah. That'd be a good ass test for Lamont Peterson.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight. Slug, I'm gonna get to some other callers. It is drive-by mode, baby. 773. Is this Tony? Cause I went to you.
What's up, bro?
Oh, I went to you. I got to get to some other callers here. Let me see. 313. 313.
Yeah, this is Hassan from Detroit.
What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. I just wanted to call in and tell you basically that, you know, I respect you. I respect everything you say. I respect the entire show. You usually have very good insight, you know, unbiased reporting, interviews, and all that. But when it comes to Danny Garcia, man, you just you're a little shifty, I gotta say, man. Because not too long ago, after the Luis Collazo Amir Khan fight, the topic of Amir Khan's resume got discussed. You specifically, and I remember this, you specifically said Zab Judah is a bum. His best win is against Leon Spinks, you said, or against Spinks, you said. And now, of course,
I still said that today.
Like the same guy, you say that he's a tough fight and you have to be a good fighter to beat him.
I still said that today, caller.
No, you didn't. You said you have to be a good fighter to beat him.
But did I lie?
No, but why didn't you say that when it came to Amir Khan?
Well, because I don't like Khan. I
mean, like, and you made like some comparisons. I just didn't understand from which direction they came from, comparing Canelo and Google to Salka.
Man.
Yo,
caller.
Heyman,
Caller. Can you hang up and call right back in? I know you're going to think this is a lie, but you sound really bad. You're going in and out, and I don't want you to think that it's because you're winning this debate. I want you to call back in, and I'll crush you. Don't worry.
Did I lie? Do I sound good right now? I think I was in the back.
No, it's definitely a connection.
All right, never mind. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but just
No. Listen to me. Call. Hang up.
Call back? I'll call back.
Yeah, hang up and call back in. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool.
All right. 716, you're live. Who's this?
Yo, what's good, man? It's Supreme General, baby. What's good?
Supreme, what up, baby? Talk to me.
Good, coolin', man. I just wanted to basically ask, or just say, put some shit out there, man, because I think it's a little atrocious, you know what I mean, the way that it's being handled. The Sean Porter shit, man. The steroid shit. Dude, I mean, this is just my opinion. I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus, but to keep it all the way 100, from the shit I'm seeing from this dude, he clearly juicing. Just my opinion. And I feel like ain't nobody really pressed the button on these boys as far as, like, really hitting them hard, because it's like, yo, Kenny Porter talking about the UCLA dudes is doing the random testing, and then you fucking with Victor Conti and all them. Like, that's so suspect, man. And then you got motherfuckers like Paulie, like, don't get me wrong, you know, Paulie got his flaws or whatever.
Well, Supreme.
Yeah.
Listen, we on drive-by mode, but I'll fix that for you.
Oh.
Sean was tested already.
Okay, all right, my bad, man.
No, you didn't. No. I'm not getting you off. I'm just letting you know. Instead of saying all your suspicion, he was already randomly tested. For this fight, he's been randomly tested already.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I respect it. I just want to see him because, like I said, man, he might not even be juicing. I could be jumping to conclusions. You know what I mean? I ain't there, but I will say, until I see him tested by USADA and knocking motherfuckers out like he's doing, then he's suspect in my book. That's all I wanted to say as far as that goes. I just felt like that needed to be said. You know what I mean?
That's a valid point. That's a valid point because after we seen Lucas Matisse get tested for the Danny fight, I guess you could say he ain't look the same. But Supreme General, I'm gonna get to some other callers. 313, you're back from Detroit. Let's see if this sounds better.
Hi, hello?
Yep.
You hear me well?
You sound like you're underwater, but we're going to try and get this one done. Let's go.
All right, so basically I was just saying there's a little bit of double standards when it came to the discussing Khan's opposition.
All right, so let me just go ahead and rebuttal, and I'll tell you what the thing here is, right? Yeah, I said whatever I said about Judah. Everybody knows who's been listening to this show that I've always called Judah a bum, but I've always ended that statement saying that Judah's never beat the B-plus fighter. He's never beat the B-plus fighter, but the B-plus fighter is beating him. So if you're a B-plus fighter, you're going to beat him, but not many have. So Danny and Amir, they have. Mayweather, he has. Not many people beat him.
Yeah, I understand, but with all due respect, if you listen to that entire show, like when Amir Khan was brought up, you never said any of those things. You just called them out. The context of that entire conversation was basically you saying that Khan's opposition is not good. Okay, so that's another thing. That what I also wanted to discuss was Rod Salka. It's unfair. It's unfair to even think of this as a tune-up fight or an easy fight. There are levels to tune-up fights. When you take a B-plus fighter, a C-plus fighter, Rod Salka, you have to flip through 3 pages of BoxRec just to find his name. This guy has 3 knockouts. You cannot defend this in any way because when you defend, what do you defend? You're actually defending Al Heyman sitting in his room, flipping through saying, what is the least dangerous fight I can get Danny? At least Angulo, yeah, he's a come-forward fighter, but he still has, power. He's faced somebody before. Al Heyman was just saying, okay, he's been on ShoBox before, and there is no way Danny is going to even get touched by him. And for Danny to wear a purge mask or whatever the metaphor meant for a fighter like Salka, that's kind of disrespectful. He did really treat him like a sacrificial lamb. Slapping the fans in the face, saying, yeah, I'm going to enter with a nice entrance, get a kiss and wear this mask, just to rub it in your face that I'm getting $700,000 for fighting a guy who's ranked 77. That's ridiculous. And I even had to fight a catch.
Or it could be interpreted as him doing the fans a favor, going in there to take care of business as soon as possible to end the night.
But he never had to do that business in the first place. He never had to take that fight. I understand Al Heyman is his advisor, but you have anybody, even in the top 20. I know you were looking at BoxRec when you were going down the list of fighters, but anybody there would have sufficed instead of a guy who's not even in that weight class, who has to go up in weight and go extra 2 pounds and has absolutely nothing to offer. It's an exhibition in the very definition of the term exhibition. You're just sitting there watching this guy get taken out.
The problem with this topic, and this is no disrespect to you, I'm just saying in general, everybody keeps blaming Danny and blaming Heyman and this and that. But Showtime bought this fight.
Exactly,
HBO
I agree.
HBO never would have bought this fight.
I agree.
My biggest, it's incredulous to me. It's incredulous to me that Showtime bought this card, because no one else would have bought this card. Like HBO would never have bought this card. But this was beneath ESPN standard.
Right.
So
but Danny's Puerto Rican. He has a good fan base.
Showtime's catching enough heat. I don't think Showtime's catching enough heat. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, definitely. I saw the interviews with Espinoza. He said, all my entire objective was to give the fans an entertaining fight. So he was basically just 100% looking for the casuals who are blind to boxing and everything about boxing, just want to go out and have a good time. That's basically what he was saying. But at the same time, it's just undefensible from any side. Danny could have said no. He could have said no to Al Heyman, said, give me somebody better. But for him to, and even the whole situation with Herrera, he could have given Herrera a rematch. And Danny, I think he's good enough to beat Herrera. He was really confident in everything, but he just kind of went with the flow, and I don't like that. And this is a fighter like Salka moving up in weight, and at a catch weight, add an extra 2 pounds to a catch weight, looking like a miniature fighter in there, is just not right. It's a sparring match, the glorified sparring match with no headgear, and that's definitely not appropriate.
Well, Detroit, I'm going to get to some other callers. This is drive-by mode. I hope that you're thankful that you got your opportunity to let it off your chest. I get you, man, but the best thing that we can think is it's behind us. We're putting it past us. It's done. Well, let's move forward. 978. You're on drive-by mode. Who's this?
Yo, it's JR, man. Listen, my first time calling in. I just wanted to say that, just like you just said, I'm just happy this fight is behind us and we can move on. I just hope that they have something better, waiting for us, man. Just basically, this fight should have never happened. I think Showtime's just trying to catch some casual fan by showing knockouts and trying to grab from the casual fan, because the hardcore fans don't like this fight. They like the fight, We got to see a showcase of unmatched competition going at it. But the other thing I want to touch on was I've listened to your show a couple of times, and I noticed you have a great relationship with Ken Porter. I mean, not great relationship, but you can get him on the phone. I'm just concerned about him saying that he's using UCLA as doing his testing, and the reason why they couldn't use the other brand names like USADA or VADA, WADA, was because they didn't have enough time. If those big corporations are telling you that they don't have enough time to get sufficient evidence on if you're clean or not, obviously they're telling you that whoever else is going to get it won't be sufficient anyways. So
that's not necessarily true. That's not
I just feel like
necessarily true.
they've been dancing around this. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that's not necessarily true. It's just probably some testing requires more time than others, or there's just different procedures. For instance, maybe a fighter has to be, has to give it. I know for a fact that they asked them to give anything that they're taking. Any supplements have to be turned in before a certain amount of time. There's a criteria that has to be met for everything. Maybe it's just different for UCLA. But that fault or that suspicion, it shouldn't fall on the porters. That should fall on the promoter, because it's the promoter's job. It's the fighter's job to push for the testing, but it's the promoter's job to provide it.
No, I agree with you. What you just said is correct. But my thing is, it's Porter's reputation that's on the line. I mean, way before he signed for that test, people were suspicious. I mean, it's fine. I mean, anytime somebody's causing knockout, it's just not him. Anytime somebody's causing knockout, people are suspicious. Now, you got a name to defend. You're praying in the ring every time, and I'm not against that. You're praying in the ring. You're a God-fearing man. That's good. But if you care about your reputation so much, why wait so long to get the testing started? I mean, okay. I mean, maybe it's the promoters.
I don't understand what you want him to do. I don't understand what you want him to do. I don't understand what you want him to do when for the fight it was negotiated. All he could do is wait on a test to come. He's not supposed to physically go himself and register. It's something that the promoter has to do. But 978, you're on Drive By Mode, brother. I got to get to some other callers, man. Thanks for calling in. Hope you call in a lot sooner on Thursday. And you lost your virginity. We appreciate that. So continue to call in, brother. We need some more reoccurring callers, brother. Thank you again. 815, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Drive By Mode it is, so talk to us.
What's up? This is Leonski.
Leonski, Cabronski, what up?
Hey, what up, man? Nah, man, I just want to call in. You know how I'm like the biggest fucking Danny Garcia hater. But I was actually, even though, man, I mean, yeah, going into it, everybody's, I mean, even I talk shit about the fight and everything, but I gotta admit, I wasn't impressed with the motherfucker, the way he went in there and did that damn thing, because not everybody just go in there and, even though it's supposed to be a demolition, not all the time you actually see the demolition, occur. And he looked pretty fucking sharp in there. I was impressed with him. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to be fucking saying that, but I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and I gotta call a spade a spade. I gotta call it how I see it, man. I mean, I still don't like the motherfucker. I still don't like his decision making and all this fucking worshiping out Heyman and shit like he's just God and shit. You know what I'm saying? But he looked like Paulie mentioned, man, at the end of the fight. He made a good ass fucking good statement about that shit about how that motherfucker looked like he would have gave anybody trouble. I think if he would have been fighting Lamont Peterson like that, I think he would have took out Lamont at least in 5 rounds, no doubt. So I hope I don't see that fight, because if they do give us that fight, I mean, if Danny looks like he did last night, that's going to be over and done within 5, man. I mean, I got that shit not going past 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was on it, man. I got to give him that. But, again, he makes it hard for a motherfucker like me to like him. Because, I was liking him coming up, but all of a sudden now, man, there's just this attitude, man. It's a whole different thing with him, man. You know what I'm saying? Now that he made it, he's making it. You know what I'm saying? At the end, man, I mean, like I said, I was impressed by by the performance. I liked it when Salka tried to fucking pump his goddamn chest like, yeah, come on, bring it. And then fucking Danny just, bam, down, bitch. Crucified that motherfucker, man. I was like, whoa, hell yeah. You know what I mean? That's what you get, little motherfucker, trying to call out a big dog. Like, yeah, trying to be a macho motherfucker in there. But anyway, at the end of when he made that comment, man, when they were interviewing that motherfucker, that was a whole downer, man. It even got me down, and I was kind of hyped about the performance. I was like, yeah, if he fights like that, well, look out anybody. Yeah, 140 for sure. But yeah, man, he straight up told the fucking guy, man, that I can't even think of his name, but anyway, he just said that, yeah, you know, I fight the best. That's all I fight. I fight the best. And then right after that, he turned around and said, "Al Haymon picks my fight." Like, come on, man, really? You know, just. But anyway, man, that's all I got for y'all. I was impressed by that fucking knockout, and I enjoyed it.
All right,
and that's that, man.
Belonski. Thanks for calling in. AB, what do you think? I mean, can we compare Carlos Molina to Rod Salka? They're both 135 pounders moving up. And I know Carlos Molina at least was in the ring with Amir Khan, but before that, he hadn't fought anybody. And Danny did better than Amir and Broner fighting Carlos Molina at 135, moving up.
Yeah, it's a great point. So you would say that Carlos Molina and Rod Salka are on the same level? I'll say one thing. That's you make a good argument. I'm not totally discrediting your argument, but I think Carlos Molina is more durable than Rod Salka, and I think he's tougher. And I would probably say he's maybe a smidge better overall. So who would I pick if Carlos Molina fought Rod Salka? I'd probably take Carlos Molina because Carlos Molina, he's a durable, rugged guy. He's the perfect opponent that you would take if you want to get rounds in, and you don't want to get hurt or anything. But this guy will press you. He'll make you work hard. He'll always stay on you, and he makes himself a kind of compact target. He knows how to survive. He knows how to go in there and fight and not take an exorbitant amount of damage where you can get him out of there. He's just tough and rugged. So you make a great point. That's a solid argument. Don't get me wrong. But I would just think that Molina's a smidge better.
Yeah, I definitely would take Carlos Molina over a guy like Rod Salka too. Hopefully we never see that fight. I'm glad this card is over with, and I totally agree with you. HBO would not have bought this fight. This was a TV date that could have been used for better things, and we've already discussed what Danny should be doing next. We don't need to go over that again, but him fighting Peterson, Broner, people like that definitely needs to happen. Daniel Jacobs, in my opinion, yeah, he got this paper title, but he needs to fight stiffer opposition before he gets in the ring with Peter Quillen. He needs to fight, people like Curtis Stevens, even the kid that gave Stevenson hell. What was his name? Terriano Johnson. He needs to fight. He needs to fight somebody like that. You need to raise the level of his opposition before he gets any kind of a title shot. I'm not the biggest Peter Quillen fan either, but if you give Daniel Jacobs, if you give Peter Quillen Daniel Jacobs right now, I would have to go with Peter Quillen because I don't think Daniel Jacobs is ready for a major title shot. I think he's still got work to do, and he's got to put rounds in, and you've got to put him in against people like Stevens or Johnson or somebody of that level, Daniel Gill, somebody of that level that's going to give him rounds. I mean, you're putting him against people that he's so far been able to dispose of, and before you give him a title shot, he's got to earn it, and I don't think he's done enough.
Well, a lot of people agree with you, Robbie.
And one other thing, since I'm from out here in California, Andre Ward country, look, guys, I know Andre Ward is a wonderful fighter. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. But people, as I've stated previously last week, or I think it was last week, we cannot talk about this guy until he decides to put boxing gloves on and actually gets in the ring. He needs to get the hell out of the courtroom and get in the gym and get in the ring, and so we have something to discuss. We can't be giving him Chavez fights or Golovkin fights or Froch fights until he drops his outside of the ring business and actually wants to continue his career. I mean, what he's doing now is a bunch of garbage, and that goes for Mikey Garcia or anybody else that wants to pull this promotion garbage. If you sign a contract with somebody, you need to fulfill it, and then when it's over with, like Rigondeaux did, then you sign with anybody you want. But if you sign on the bottom line, you have to fulfill the terms you agreed to and get out of the courtroom and put your ass back in the ring.
Well, all right.
Very
let me
well
get to
said,
some
Robbie.
other callers here. Last caller of the night, I believe. 646, you're live. Who's this?
Oh, that should have been just started there over here. Yeah, you hear me?
Not really, brother.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yo, you hear me, Ness?
Well, you sound far, man.
Now I'm driving, man. I'm driving into Spanish Harlem. Danny from Spanish Harlem calling to eat my crow.
Oh, no doubt. What up, Danny?
What up, man? I purposely called late because I wanted to say a whole lot of shit, but after everything, man, all I can say is that he's a different fighter, man. That's not the dude, that I've seen fight. I know, I'm eating my crow, whatever, man, but that's not the dude that usually fights like that, man. I don't know if you've seen the Jose Lopez fight, and even the joint you seen on ESPN that you was talking about. And he was never a punching bag like that, man. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what trainer. I don't know what happened, man. But it is what it is. I'm eating my crow. I said I called back. I did. And I don't know, man. I'm mad. I lost money. I lost a little bit of pride. I thought he was gonna take it, but it is what it is. It's boxing, man.
Well, all right, Danny. We're on drive-by mode, brother. Thanks for calling in, eating your crow like a real man. Jose from Canada, brother. What's up? Jose, I can't believe you wouldn't text me, but let's not waste time on that, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Hey, I was just calling in, man, to talk about the Danny Garcia fight, man. I know I always get harassed for being a casual fan, but to be honest, man, I honestly think 80% of the fights that are made in boxing are kind of shit anyway, man. So, I mean, when a fight like this gets made, Danny did exactly what he had to do, man. He went in and he kicked the shit out of the guy and he knocked him out in 2 rounds. So at least if a bad fight's going to be made, at least let the superstar shine. And I think he did that, man. At the end of the day, he doesn't pick who he fights, obviously. And, he went in and he took care of business, man. So people are just calling and bitching and moaning. Well, you should bitch and moan about Gale and Triple G. That was a shit fight too, man. And as per Beeb and Robbie, man, like HBO's bought in shittier fights than the card yesterday. So I think we gotta,
but not,
it's true, man. It's
not in recent
oh
years,
man,
though.
last week. I mean, if you look at Triple G and Gale, that was a shit fight too, man. Like, I mean, they're all shit fights, man. Well, I think Gale is a bum anyway. Obviously, he got the shit kicked out of him, right? So, I mean, if we want the fight, then we got to demand for the big stars to be always in it, man. Like, I mean, if a superstar's fighting, let's see him fight against a superstar. Anything below that is like an A-line actor, like dating like a toilet paper commercial girl, man. It just doesn't make sense, right? So,
yeah, I got you.
That's what I think, man. And I think Danny Jacobs does deserve a chance, man. Like, why not? Give him a shot. Let him go in there with Triple G, man. The guy was a champion. He's got a story. It could be marketed.
But he doesn't want to
At least it'll
fight
be an
Triple
exciting
G,
fight.
Jose.
Oh, I know. Maybe he doesn't want to fight, but I'm just saying people saying he doesn't deserve it, right? I mean, he
No,
deserves it, right?
They're saying he doesn't deserve a shot at Quillen.
Oh, at Quillen? Fuck, of course he deserves a shot at Quillen. Quillen's another guy who only fights bums. We got to stop being so fickle and so bitchy and let these guys just fight, man. If 2 names can fight, let them fight. I'd rather a guy fight against a guy who at least has a name than a guy who doesn't have shit. Like, at least it's somewhat entertaining, right? And there's the possibility of an upset. So I'll be really quick. Last one is Brooke versus Porter, man. Like, I love the Brits, and shout out to the Boxing Coalition, man. But these guys are already coming up with excuses, man. It's bullshit, you know. Porter's going to knock Brooks' head off, and it has nothing to do with steroids, guys. So stop making excuses. It's prefabricated excuses. Just accept it, man. Like, Conte's not going to – he's not going to go to jail, you know, for like 30 grand or 40 grand or 50 grand that Porter's team pays him, man. It's just stupid, right? So Porter's clean. He's going to kick the shit out of Brooke, and you know, that's it, man. That's all I got.
All right, Jose. He made some good points. I think I might have two others. I'm not sure. 702. Did I go to you?
No, you haven't been to me. It's Rob Paul. What's up?
What up, Rob?
What's up? Okay, I've got 3 quick points to make. Okay, and who I blame is Showtime and Al Heyman. Fuck both of those. Okay, Danny's not to blame. His dad's not to blame for that bullshit last night. You know, boxing's a dangerous sport, but that was especially look, that Ross Salka guy could have got seriously hurt last night. The difference in class was way too much. And that is, in my whole time following boxing, the worst HBO, Showtime, any main event that I've ever seen. I remember the Andre Barro fight when he blasted that guy out in 1 round, that Freddie Hernandez, but that was like the first fight on a 3-card bill. That was the worst main event I've ever seen. It was terrible. Anybody involved in making that fight has to be ashamed of themselves. Secondly, I was insulted by Showtime yesterday. As somebody that is still actively fighting the cancer, I found it insulting that they were talking about Danny Jacobs being a world champion. That is not a world title. And it's there's people that are actually going out and achieving real things. There's respected Danny Jacobs for doing what he did, but fuck, don't try and tell me that's a world title and like he's achieved some big thing by knocking out some guy that's already been knocked out by British level fighters. That was bullshit. The final thing is, just because someone passes a drug test doesn't mean they're not doing something dodgy. Because Lance Armstrong never took a drug test, never failed a drug test. Shane Mosley never failed a drug test, and they still did okay. They still got away with it. And you know what, next week,
Wait, slow down.
Brooks knocking him out next week. It's revenge for 1772 or whatever it is. The Brits are coming, and we're taking back over next week, and everybody's going to be eating crow next week. Watch out.
Okay, Rob Palmer. Don't bust a blood vessel. What I will say this. When Lance Armstrong was doing testing, they didn't have the technology that they have now. That's why they caught Lance Armstrong, because of the technology now. They went back and retested his samples and seen that he was using steroids. So, you know, if they're passing a test now, if it's stringent testing, if it's the VADA and the, you know, the good ones, they're clean. 917, I believe you are truly our last caller, right? Who's this?
Yo.
Yo.
Yo, this Carino, yo, Boricua en la casa, Latin Goonies, baby. Fucking stand up, yo. We getting it in, baby. Ya tú sabes, melaza, cabrón. But yeah, nah, man. I'm showing love for Danny. You know what I mean? Danny somewhat remind me of Mayweather, and I ain't talking about style, but I'm just saying he always does enough to get it done, like regardless. And that's how Mayweather always been too. So my boy, he the next big thing. Like, I don't know, people sleeping on him, keep thumbing the beast, but maybe that one day will be a big ass pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say too that people was kind of sleeping on them other fights this weekend, yo. Them fights was popping this weekend. That Mesa Clay little fight on the Iron Mike production shit, they was going at it. They was going to war. Fucking Mike Tyson had me dying when he was doing commentary and shit on that Vasquez-Stevenson fight. That shit was crazy. But, yeah, man. Shit, just want to show love. Danny doing his thing. Fuck it. He getting his money right now. People want to hate. That's it. And I was going to tell you, man, why you be hating on Cotto, man? Cotto be going in, man. You be sleeping on my boy, man. Is it a Dominican thing and shit or what?
Nah, listen.
I don't know why he doesn't like Cotto, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can no longer do it.
I be hearing you go in on my dude.
Nah, I can no longer hate on him. The evolution of Ness has happened right before your eyes, and I can't. I mean, with the Sergio win, I gotta give him credit, man. I gotta give him credit. But before that, I just thought it was kind of iffy. You know, he was losing the big fights. He was on that Shane Mosley Zab Judah route.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but he go to war. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give you a fight every time he go in there. Never duck nobody. Mayweather didn't fight Margarito when Margarito was out on top doing his thing. You know what I mean? Cotto stepped up, fought him. Cotto fought everybody, man. To me, he got the best resume in boxing right now. That's real, like the best. Cause I mean, he fought everybody. He could fight.
Well, if you're gonna
So,
gonna give Cotto credit for resume based on wins and losses, then Zab got the best resume because he fought everybody too.
Yeah, that's real. But I mean, Cotto got some more wins than Zab do. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, Cotto really lost to Pacquiao Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Like on some definitive shit. The Austin Chow too. Austin Chow got at him, but it wasn't crazy. You know what I mean?
These Cotto fans, beef. Look, he just ignored the Margarito laws like that ain't even happened.
Did you act like
people,
like
a lot of people
you
they
don't
don't
think he
count
was
that,
faster?
man. A lot of people don't
He was-
count that, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can, man. I mean, you seen that what it was.
Listen,
I
if
mean,
you don't want to
I don't
count it
know.
as a loss, that's okay. But regardless, you got to count that fight because he got his ass beat. That shit took years off his life. But
hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I was hurt when that shit happened. I was young too, man. Tear came out my eye and shit, like Trinidad Hopkins and shit. So Danny gonna be the next big thing, man. Don't sleep on my dude, man. A lot of cats be on here stunting and shit, fronting, just hating. You know, the Puerto Ricans is coming up. Show love, shit.
For sure. You know I'm all Danny all the way, man. But thanks for calling in. That is our last caller of the night. Again, quick reminder, brand new, boxingvoice.com. Definitely check it out. We got some amazing writers to join the staff. We're growing right before your eyes, and it's all credit to you. And we're going to continue to keep pumping out the best. Definitely check out our app. BoxingVoice.com app is also on Android and on iPhone. Remember to check out our sponsors on our sponsors page. Mayweather Glove giveaway Sunday after the fight, the big day. Someone lands the Money May autograph signature glove. If you don't know, now you know. Just press the donate button on theboxingvoice.com. $1.40 gets you in the runnings. 40 cents goes to PayPal, $1 to us to buy more gloves, to keep doing glove giveaways for you guys. Anyone who has a PayPal subscription with us is automatically entered. No purchase necessary. Hey, all right, guys, man. We'll see you guys Thursday. Maybe sooner. Who knows?